because I know Rep's gonna be late because they have their new shift starting. So I guess the rest of us are here. You guys, anybody remember what was happening last session?
Probably Castleberry.
You did.
Sure, I remember what happened last time, I think, kind of. Uh, let's see. So, we all woke up from the night of debauchery at the festival, gathering our various items and things of that nature. We started to make our trek toward, towards, I believe, Delphi's temple, and we were heading in that direction. And some various things happened along the way. Many of our companions were able to speak to various patrons, i.e., not Mrs. Baker, but who was it? Who was able to speak to their patron?
Dynah spoke to.
There we go.
Her her uh absentee
Father.
father. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Day 8.
Right.
Yes,
Dinah
something
spoke to
like.
her absentee father, who did give some assistance to some of the things that they were trying to do. Ankai and Igreus had like a very brief sort of conversation about family ties and the connections to it. There was also a scene with a herd of axe beaks that took place where a caravan was being blocked by these rather large axe-beaked birds. Igreus, in a moment of quick instinct, began to flap out his cape and put on his crow's bill and lead them into the forest, where Sophos was able to create a wall of vines as he created darkness on a tree and escaped out of there. And they were, I believe, heading into the next location. And I think that's where we picked up. A lot of that took a lot of time.
Yes, you were looking for a place to bed down for the night post not killing all the birds.
Right, which is I think we did because Mrs. Baker made a Liamon's tiny hut,
mm-hmm.
and we couldn't fit social reposts inside of the tent, and I believe that's where we are now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think we woke up and got on the road and there was crows or something.
Yeah, that was the your first night. You guys are coming to your second evening's rest.
Okay.
So post herding the birds off of the road, you guys are coming to a point where you feel like you are comfortable to stop. What are you guys? Are you just gonna make it settle in for the night? Are you gonna try to push into the evening to get a little bit more distance? What's the plan, Stan?
If we push forward, are we gonna get a point of exhaustion?
That is always a possibility. Though I will say, because you guys are riding in a cart, the DC to avoid exhaustion is very, very low.
We can also, like, instead of watches, we could like take turns driving or attempting to do so.
I have dark vision.
Oh yeah, so do I. At 120 feet of dark vision, or unless they change that, I'm pretty sure they changed it.
I think I'm 60. I gotta check that.
Yeah, because Drow have superior dark vision.
Oh, that makes.
We also have a pretty cool like dude that can probably affix a lantern on the lead horse.
The lead horse.
Yeah, pretty cool dudette. Dynah.
Yep.
That's how I roll.
Dynah, what was the name of your bird weapon? Goodness.
Which one? I think I have two. I've got
your maul, your mace,
the
the one you made out of geese.
That's a quack.
The quackinator.
goosebump.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah. There we go.
The goosebump is this one. If we do something with ducks or some kind of duck like that, that will definitely be the quackinator.
See, there we go.
Perfect.
That name cannot lose its luster. So
It will not, but
ducks at some point.
Well, now I have to make it to.
I feel like a goose themed weapon would be closer to the honking.
I mean, if you all are looking to move forward, we definitely could do that. I can see very well in the dark, so I'll drive us forward if that is what is required.
I need to make that weapon. I have Dinah's bite here, but I don't have stats.
I am working
for the
on
goose
that
one.
right now.
Yeah.
Igreus is sitting in the front seat, driving the horses, and he's just singing to himself as he is becoming known to do. And he's just going, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days.
Oh, so good.
Now we need to watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, brother, where art thou?
I think that if it's the evening time, if it's the nighttime, Mrs. Baker would definitely climb up on the seat next to Igreus and just quietly hang and listen to the singing.
Sage is definitely brewing, has been on a constant brew of coffee. I finish a brew, I put one in a flask, so I have some coffee backed up so I can then make other brews. I'm trying to think of what I can make. But her coffee, mushroom coffee, combo. Someone develop a creamer for that.
Right?
Or juice. We need a juice. We need a sweet juice, like pineapple juice, and then a cream, like a coconut, and be a plant-based thing, and it tastes like a coffee colada. They're amazing. It's like drinking a pina colada, both coffee. Sounds weird, but it's amazing.
That does sound good.
Like being on the beach first thing in the morning.
Yeah. You and your nut drinkers.
Hey, man.
Listen, do what you're gonna do.
Oh.
All right.
I gotta stay away from those cocoa nuts.
It only counts if it has a little umbrella in it. That said, Dynah, the goosebump is added to your inventory, and it is an attunement item now to do the additional poison damage.
Yep. The way you attune to it is you have to jump on top of the cart and dance through the night moon. So it's a dancing.
Excellent. All right. Well, that said, since you guys are gonna try to push through the evening, if I could have everyone make a Constitution saving throw, only let me know if you roll below a 10.
Oh, here they are.
I went ahead and rolled for Onkai, who we'll say is passed out in the back.
I got new blood in the dice.
If I got a 10.
Oh, God. Beats it.
Okay, good.
I got an 11.
Actually,
I got 23. You're lightweights.
I can see Sage being more gets into trouble. That's all I'm saying.
What was it? A perception?
Constitution saving throw. This is so you don't get exhaustion.
Oh.
I got 16.
Okay. fine. That is totally fine. So it does make sense that Mrs. Baker and Sophos are kind of in the back, kind of leaned against each other, kind of quietly, nodding off, and then jostled awake, and then nodding off. Um,
Both laying on my pile of leaves.
like you're getting rest. It's not ideal, but you're also Mrs. Baker is experienced enough to know that you take sleep when you get it. And Sophos is kind of used to roughing it. So you two are kind of holding that up. Dynah, on the other hand, is just like, it's fine. Everything's fine. You sleep when you die. That's fine.
Our naps power through.
Yeah, exactly. And Igreus, for you, it's like, yeah, this is the time I'm supposed to be awake. It's like when the cat gets the zoomies at like 3 a.m. You're like, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Standy up cat naps.
I'm good to go.
Well,
I mean, I only sleep for 5 hours, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yep. I will say though, because you two kind of just beat the threshold of getting past the exhaustion, I will say I need Dynah, Igreus, and I'll roll again for on Kai, because I rolled a 16 on the die for her. To all make perception checks to kind of watch the road as you're traveling at night.
Perception requires my elven eyes. Wait a second. Let's see here. I wouldn't get advantage, would I, because of my 120? Because it doesn't say that I'm proficient, even though I should be proficient because I'm a drow.
Right, because it's more. It has that disadvantage for when you're in direct light.
Right, but it's nighttime.
Yeah, and you can see further than anyone. I will go ahead and give you advantage on this because of the situation that you're in. This doesn't qualify for all dark situations, but like you can see much further than everyone else in the dark. You're also used to this environment. Dynah, you're killing it. You're focused on your brewing items.
Okay.
All right, how'd you roll, Igreus?
I'd come up with a name for my next brew.
Okay, so that is 25 with a natural 20.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'll say for this purpose, Ankai kind of focuses on the crows that you guys continue to see in your travels. Again, they're not like haunting after you, but like as you go down the road a little bit, crow, and then you go down a little bit further, crow. So that's what her focus is on. You, on the other hand, are a young man who grew up in kind of some of the harshest environments, and you've learned you just adapted to the dark. You were born in the darkness.
I was born in it, molded by it.
So you have your eyes on the swivel. And we'll say with a natural 20, social repost actually kind of does the ear twitch. And that's what suddenly brings you straight down the road. You kind of see this kind of lump in the road. Unremarkable.
What is it, boy? What is it, boy? He kind of looks further, widens his elven eyes. What do your elf eyes see? And he kind of like stares down the road. And he says, "What is this?" He kind of looks down. What people don't know is that Igreus and his private time, he has a lot of time because he lived on like the outskirts of town that he watches everybody. And so he practices like a lot of voices. So you're going to hear him like, just like when he thinks that nobody's listening to him, which usually if Mrs. Baker and Ankai and Sophos are in the back like sleeping, then yeah, he's 100% like, what do your elf eyes see? Kind of like glares down, and he kind of leans forward over the railing that makes up the front of the cart, so he can like look a bit closer. So his head's like between these two horses.
Yeah, and it's as you're kind of focusing in, what you begin to notice, is that both horses kind of begin to slow down and like flatten their ears in their approach. And what you see is like a big stretch of viney earth taking up the center of the road. Kind of like if a portion of the forest floor had just transplanted into the middle of this road. Like a druid on a tear decided to all of a sudden just leave a mound of upturned earth. It's odd in the sense that it looks completely normal, but in the wrong place.
Mm.
Hmm.
And he kind of turns around and he says, "Seems we found a lump in the road." And then he goes, "There's a mound of something on the road." And kind of turns back and he says, "I want to try something. So let me see. Let me see here." And no. He is going to. Oh, I thought I had light. Never mind. Oh, I do actually. So he stretches forth his hand, and he is going to spin his fingers through the air, and he's gonna go la 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 la. And the mound is gonna suddenly be vibrantly flashing um rave colors as he casts what he calls Stroke of Radiance, which is fairy fire.
We're hurting everybody?
Interesting.
On the mound.
And that's a dexterity saving throw, isn't it?
Yep.
I have speak with plants.
Oh, don't worry, fairy fire doesn't burn anything. It just lights up the area.
Okay.
Yeah, it just lights up the area.
I'm used to 4E fairy fire, which was like
no.
OPAF.
Oh no, don't worry. I was gonna cast. Oh, I do have dancing lights. Never mind. So yeah, I'm still gonna do fairy's fire, but I forgot. That's what I was looking for before.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Nothing bad is gonna happen.
That feels like a lie.
All right. So you cast fairy fire, and the ground lights up in beautifully sparkling lights. And with your natural 20 perception check, you notice the ground shifts just the smallest bit. Like anything below a 24 perception would not notice the change.
Yeah, there's something under there. He turns to the group and he says, "I'm not too sure what it is, but there's certainly something under there, and I don't think I like where this is going in this nighttime air."
Yeah. All right.
When Sage sees obviously if Sage sees bright colors and wavy colors, she is going to shoot up and assume, because she got FOMO up the whatever. So she's like, "Wait, you're partying without me? What the hell?"
Oh, up the tree, not hole. Up the tree, not hole.
Wait, up the tree.
No, yeah, because instead of the butt, it has a knot and it's a tree. Anyway.
I forget what I say seconds later. It's like I'm 5-second Tom over here. But then she's going to be looking at this. Obviously, I have like outside information, but she's curious about like why there was party fire, and then she hears him say that, and then so I do want to look at the area, just because bright, pretty lights. Okay. But I can do it at a disadvantage because I feel like she would be distracted by the bright, pretty lights.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Igreus has, I believe, 120-foot dark vision. So you guys are just coming into where like you can kind of see the mound into your view past the darkness. But it is lit up now, so I'll let you make a straight perception check on it.
Okay, cool. I
feel like Dynah's annoyed by the lights. What?
Deal with it.
I'm doing what I wanted to do, sorry.
What is this distraction?
You're sleeping. I'm driving. What distraction?
I'm not sleeping. I'm working over here.
Dynah. Then you have light. This should help you.
I was adjusting.
Okay. How about this for adjusting? And he casts luminous orbs, but instead of 4 orbs, it's just one massive orb directly like next to her. Are you adjusted? Did that help,
How do I do a
Dynah?
wisdom roll on here?
You're what?
I'm not taking. I'm trying to do a wisdom. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll a d20 and then add my perception.
Yeah.
Oh, it said it.
So you rolled a 12.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay, cool. Well, never mind. Well, my perception is +4, and I rolled a 12, so 16.
BRB. Continue with it.
Okay. Yeah. So with the 16, you see the lump coming into view. So
Does it look animal or vegetable?
it looks very, very vegetable.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Plants.
All right. So you cast Speak with Plants, and are you gonna try to talk to it?
Yeah, I'm really curious.
All right.
Fun.
So kind of like the first thing you get from Speak with Plants is just this background kind of low grumble of something complaining. And it kind of takes you a moment because you're slowly approaching. It's kind of getting closer, and you start to realize it is the thing in the middle of the road.
Okay.
And you realize the ground is mumbling to itself about lying in wait and catching night travelers off guard.
It's as if a plant creature is in the area. I can communicate with it as if we shared a common language, so I can speak back to it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you can talk to it.
Oh. Okay. Oh! I yell into the distance. But in plant. Whatever that sounds like. I have looked that up. It's really cool.
Yeah, so, you scream into the distance. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to spin a map. Alright, that's the way I want it to fit. Alright, we'll line you up this way, and we'll make you zone out so I can make you...
Or like the Greek, the Greek equivalent to like shaving a haircut, like you have to answer it.
Yep. So like you hear in the distance, the ubiquitous phrase of "oh fuck," which everybody knows that phrase.
Language.
And
Sorry,
You
hold
kissed your
on.
mother with that mouth.
Not in a while, but you hear it kind of swear and shuffle around a bit, and I will share my screen so you guys can kind of see what you're coming up on.
Like a fairy circle?
Yeah, we're gonna avoid those.
It's like Stonehenge.
We were already talking about Appalachia earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever lives there, I promise you need to leave.
Yeah, it's me.
So we're gonna...
Yeah, you got to get out of there. Appalachia is old wood gods and creatures we don't speak about. So
that's my next game I'm running is Old Gods of Appalachia.
Oh
yeah.
If anybody
play it in the woods.
If anybody wants to play, DM
oh yeah,
me
for sure. Let's
No.
play it. Let's play it in the woods, specifically near a fairy circle.
Come visit.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's gonna be a great experience for our lives. So we're right there. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you're kind of sitting in this area. I'm trying to draw, but it won't let me draw. Why?
So too.
Oh, it's drawing underneath the thing.
I was gonna say you're behind it.
All right, so I need.
What is going?
You're on the wrong layer.
Yep. So select this.
I don't know how to fix that.
Yep. That's a great thought. And anyway, so you're like, we'll just pull the pointer out and call it a day. So you guys are coming up this way, and the thing is like right here, right as the road starts to fork.
Works.
So the mound calls back to you, and what you guys see is that the mound in the road then stands up.
You keep saying mound, and it makes me more scared.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you should be afraid. Let's see if I
A south
can
of the land.
share.
I think it's shambling towards us.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But it has that distinct probability of shambling towards you.
Yeah, it looks like it shambles.
Can we help you?
Okay, so you say that to the thing in the road? Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
understand you. It currently only understands the druid. Let's see.
Why are you mad, friend?
Because I was gonna eat you.
Why? Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, it said it was gonna eat us. I asked if it was mad. It said it was gonna eat us. What?
Well, tell it I have snacks if it's hungry.
All right, maybe don't.
Excellent point. We have a baker who can make whatever you want. Oh, it's freaking terrifying. Sage would want to pet it, but I find it terrifying.
Give it a good berry.
I want to eat you.
Well, you shouldn't.
I highly recommend against it. I've done a lot. You don't know where I've been.
You don't want to eat me. I'll end up on the outside one way or another. You can certainly try, but I promise you'll be scattered over there and there and there, of no fault of my own. So,
Sophos, tell it you're so full of mushrooms that it'll go on a bad trip.
tell them you've got worms in your tubes.
I'm gonna need, because again, Sophos is the only one who understands it, and it understands. Sophos, I need you to make a persuasion check. I am gonna give you advantage because it is in fact caught and can identify that there's several of you.
Okay, thank you. A persuasion. Okay.
I'm gonna. Can I recognize?
Yeah. Do you
talk to it and like give her some bardic inspiration?
Yeah.
Cool. Hold on. What's my persuasion? I'm just so happy right now.
This might be in fact. Weirdly enough, I believe thinking back.
I can't.
Persuasion. Second page. It's a +4.
Oh, thank God, because I can't. My phone screen is broken right where my pluses are on the skills, and I can't see them all.
I lied to you. That's perception. Persuasion is +0, but that still makes it a straight 19. Although I think the last couple times I've made you roll like charisma checks, you've actually rolled really well, despite not having any charisma skills.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Mrs. Baker, do you wanna throw a bardic her way?
I do. I'm gonna rub her back, like in the small of your back, where your mom rubs you to give you encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
And put all that good vibes her way.
Yep. Is that a D6 or a D8 right now?
I think it's a D8. Hold on.
Ooh.
Bardic inspiration is a D8.
So roll a D8.
That's amazing.
You rolled well, but you still want to roll high. You're dealing with a hostile creature.
Oops. Okay, the 8 came out to a 9 because I accidentally picked a 4 as well. So it was a 9.
Okay.
I picked a D4 and a D8 at the same time by accident.
Yeah, the D4 was a 4 and the D8 was a 6. So we'll add the 6 to your 19, making it a total of 25.
Badass.
So yeah, you're like, you don't want to mess with us. All right, great.
I taste terrible. I basically taste like a pile of leaves, my man. And I've contaminated my being contaminated everybody here. I've licked all of them in their sleep. They all taste like me at this point.
What?
Really? It's just gross. You don't know what's happening, Igreus. I am confessing sins you have no idea about.
He said my name.
Who doesn't tell them the truth, neither?
What do you think cuts your hair? I cut your hair while you sleep.
Oh my god, I love that.
I'm the Midnight Baba.
The Midnight Barber. So yeah, as dejected as it's possible for a big pile of earth to look, it kind of slumps and sits back on its haunches and kind of thinks to itself for a moment. At this point, the horses would have stopped because they're like, and unless you're like urging them forward, they're just taking this in and being like, I don't, fuck that. Classic horse behavior. So,
and all you guys are hearing is a bunch of like weird ass sounds.
Grumbling and rustling, like old bark rubbing together and like a low rumble of an earthquake. And then I imagine Sophos on the other hand goes like the wispy rustling of leaves kind of noise. So
lots of movement is involved in this language.
Yep. So it kind of like sits back on its haunches, contemplates its life choices, and you just hear, I just wanted an easy meal. I guess I'll wait till tomorrow. And it like gets up and it looks like it can walk. It has every ability to walk, but it kind of like tumbles in on itself and rolls back into the tree line, kind of off to the side.
Sophos, does this creature have a name? If it doesn't, I'm going to call it Eeyore.
Eeyore. Do I know what this thing is?
Make a nature check, not an advantage. I just want to see if you know.
Right?
You have no idea. It's dirt.
I'll call him Joe Dirt then.
Oh. You don't,
he's a Hufflepuff!
I hate fighting shambling mounds. I'm so glad we avoided that.
Good old Joe Dirt.
I was so excited to swallow one of you guys, and immediately the druid's like, I can talk to it.
We're traveling? I'm prepping all my nature-based spells.
Alright. Fantastic.
I'm over here like, y'all didn't need me, right? You got it? Okay, good.
I will not be outdone by a fashion accessory, okay?
I just imagine Dynah has been sitting in the back this whole time, does not even get aware of the mound itself until it's like rolling away in the distance, and then she's like, what the fuck was that?
Oh yeah, I blinded Dynah. I'm
still trying to get my vision back. I'm like focusing on the... Meanwhile, IRL, I'm over here like, what kind of armor could I make for the druid out of a shambling mound? What?
Look,
I'm over here. Does anybody have a spare sword so I can stab this thing and then heat metal?
Here's the thing. I'm not saying that I haven't thought a lot about alternative druid armor, but I'm just saying a breastplate made out of a seashell, like a sea turtle shell.
Oh
Lord. Or a turtle shell?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Oh, I would look like War Turtle.
Because if you got a big turtle shell, you could then grow mushrooms off the back of it. Anyway, lots of thought. I'll just have to give you
I'm the perfect size.
You are.
Wouldn't even have to be a big turtle.
Well, I
Oh my
mean,
god.
big turtle in scale of like the fact that box turtles are like this big, but like any average sea turtle or like moderate tortoise would be large enough. Snapping turtle, even.
I'm 2 feet tall.
Oh, I can make you find
I'm like 2.5 feet tall.
a particularly malicious snapping turtle. That'd be fun.
Don't let Sea Turtle Inc. hear us talking about this. Oh dear.
Yeah.
We live like 30 minutes from a sea turtle preserve. Like,
It is the express view of this channel. I hate birds and turtles. They all should go away.
Birds and turtles.
turtles, but not sea turtles. Continue.
um, but it's as this mound rolls away, Igreus, you now have a little bit of room to take in the fact that there is a few kind of abandoned homes in the area and a large stone collective that is not mountains. The rocks are really weird. Like, they have an odd stacking to them.
Okay. So I would like to point out first that Igreus sort of like stares as the mound of dirt kind of moves through the forest line, specifically because it is very, very bright because of the fairy fire that's still on it, and so it's kind of shambling into the woods, a light, and he just follows it with his head. And then once it just like completely gets enough out of sight, he's gonna drop it and drop the luminous orbs. And like staring over at these tall stones, and he's like, I wonder what that could be. And kind of turns the horses in that direction and starts pushing that way.
No.
I told them we taste bad.
Fantastic. I forgot it was glowing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did anybody else watch the Treehouse of Horrors where Mr. Burns was mistaken for the alien shifting through the
Oh yeah.
trees? Yeah, that's
Yes.
immediately my thought process for that. It's just,
Yeah.
we bring you peace. Um all right. So you guys are making your way towards the stones. So I'm assuming
Making
you're
my way.
following this little side path. So the smaller house seems to be in better condition, but it is completely vacant.
Hmm.
But like with a can-do attitude, you can make it a shelter for the night. As you get about here, you notice that this house is like completely rotted through. You drift past this tree, and I'll say you get to about here where the road still is. So you see my little spinning dot. You guys get to about here, and you start to take in that this is some sort of purposeful religious or ceremonial structure.
Hmm. Well, I'll be goddamn. Igreus says as he stops the horses and kind of like hooks them to the he hooks them to that nearby tree. The one yeah, like right there. And he steps down and he says, I don't know about you guys, but this doesn't look too kosher. Whatever you go for, kosher. He kind of like looks around. He turns back and he looks back at the rotting house. It's like seems like not a lot of people have been here, but that remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of starts walking over to the stones.
I don't think that's very safe, Igreus. You don't know what kind of gods use this circle, or what kind of.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Okay, all right, great. And so he's going to cast his luminance orbs again, which is just dancing lights. It's going to be in like a circle around him, like these four globules of this sort of dark, shimmering, shadowy light, almost like a hooded lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna look around.
So as you pull up the dark, glittering lights of your orbs, you see a figure standing right there, right at the edge of this formation. An incredibly familiar figure who goes, in fact, if you go too much further, you will be goddamned. And the very plain visage of Herman is standing there, leaned against this pillar.
Herman the Merman, we meet again. What are you doing here? Don't tell me you own this house.
No, none of this is my thing.
I'm guessing you're scouting out for another rager.
No, also not my thing to organize stuff. I deliver messages.
So, do you have a message for us?
Yeah, what Mrs. Baker said.
Sure, I have a message.
That was all. That wasn't foreboding or anything.
To steal a very famous line. Looking into the cake is like looking into the future. Once you take a bite, it's too late. And he's gonna drag his foot across the ground, kind of leaving a line in the sand. And he goes, this is a proverbial line in the sand. It's more of a circle thing. Once you pass this barrier, things will start to happen.
Okay, it would be real helpful there, Herman, if you told us what things were happening. Because if you say things, that's like a big red device that you can push.
How do you guys feel about fire?
He creates a flame in his hand and he kind of shoots it into the air. And he's like, I don't know. It's kind of nice.
I don't want to make a perception to see if he has any metal on his body.
Yeah, I'll give that to you for free. He does have a few. It's like his belt is metalled. He has a few. He dresses very light and athletic, but there's like buckles and things that you can see.
I'm.
Is he wearing fantasy basketball shorts?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's wearing fantasy gray sweatpants.
Oh.
I was
Can I perceive anything?
I was thinking more like the 80s, like shorts, like the
Yeah.
all thigh, questionable length. Yeah, sure.
Oh, crop top too?
Crop top.
Oh, for sure.
You can see.
Sure.
That's a second level spell. Do I want to waste that on?
No, you don't. He's here to help us.
Yeah. No,
but I do want to perceive. I do want to perceive his package.
All right, make a perception check.
Yeah.
Snail trail. So he's got the.
That's
pathway to glory.
A dirty, nasty, pervy 20.
Dirty, nasty, filthy, dirty.
Yeah.
All right.
Old lady, pervy one.
Fantastic. Okay, so you've been around. You know the concept of growers, not showers. You also understand that athletic gear does help tuck and support. The outline you get is thick, not large, but you have a concept of like, this could be something.
So Cafu can, so girthy but not lengthy.
Well, at this moment of unarousal,
it could be.
There could be more to it, but as sitting in comfort, what you get is thick. The potential beyond that, you're not quite sure of in this moment, as he is not actively aroused. Although you guys were recently at an orgy with him, if you wanted to check him out.
I'll do it.
I was busy.
Yeah. But yeah, you have a concept that, like, he might not be the biggest, but, like, he seems like someone who can put it down when he needs to.
Yeah,
Nice.
So I got a filthy dirty natural 20. So
for what? What you doing with that natural?
I'm remembering what I saw at the festival by accident, passing by with my eyes shielded. Descriptive. Is it like the microphone that you have right now?
Hold on. It'd be.
I'm telling you, it's like.
Before you ask why I have measuring tape at my desk, don't worry about it.
What? Here you go.
It'd be about this. From the down.
Okay, so that's the length. So what's the girth?
about this much.
Oh, okay.
Which
Okay, makes perfect sense.
So it's perfect, is what you're saying.
yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna hit all the sides and in the right position, maybe bottom out. Who knows?
Yeah, for a
Mrs.
one
Baker
night
is going to
stand.
give a thumbs up.
I'm gonna give Mrs. Baker those bifocals, the ones with the binoculars that you like
Yeah.
bring up like
Oh,
this.
yeah. Yeah, she's definitely checking it out. Nice shorts, Hermie.
He's gonna like.
Is it like hanging out of the bottom?
No, he's got the right supportive equipment to keep it in place. But you see, you guys are like eyeing him up and down. He kind of just takes his hand and kind of covers his like twist his smile a bit. Like, look,
Nice shorts.
I did not come here and like the attempt to pull down his, I guess now canonically a crop top, even though that is not period appropriate, but like kind of pulling down his crop top, which is absolutely useless in this situation.
So Igreus is gonna take off his heavy coat that you all saw. He's gonna toss it at Herman and say, "Cover yourself up."
He does. He immediately wraps it around himself, and just
Aww.
he is bright red all the way to the tips of his ears, just blushing. Look, okay.
You'll thank me for that later.
The primordial flame is behind here, and it's a desecrated ground because the gods don't like the primordial flame.
Wait.
Just
you're talking primordial flame as in the flame,
yeah,
the specific one.
Fuck yeah. Okay, I didn't know that my weakness was being so objectified that I would just give you information. This is not my job. Oh my god.
He lights a firebolt immediately and throws it at the flame.
Yeah, so it just goes past, and what you see is that once it gets past like that second layer of stones, it just vanishes. And you can still see through it, like nothing else has changed. So for those of you arcanically inclined, which Mrs.
Igreus.
Baker and Ankai, oh, and Igreus, yeah. If you guys all want to make arcana checks or just intelligence checks in whatever you feel most proficient in. Like, for example, if you're proficient in investigation, you could do that instead of arcana. No, you did okay.
Okay. Is that you said proficiency? Add your proficiency bonus?
Choose an intelligence check, and then if it's one that you are proficient in, that's awesome.
Proficient in. Yeah.
I have detect magic.
If you wanted to cast the spell, you would. What you can definitely tell is it's probably magic.
26.
Did you say detect magic stick?
No, she said detect magic stick.
It goes buzz buzz.
It's right there though. It's standing next to us. But yeah, I rolled a 26, and I'm staring hard at Herman, and I was like, I need to be clear. This is Promethean flame right here. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah,
the flame of the gods. Okay. So here's the thing.
He's gonna hand you back your cloak and will have appeared in like a slouchy hoodie and fantasy sweatpants.
You did not have my interest at all, but now you have my attention.
He unravels.
No one else noticed this is absolutely above his pay grade. Like, look at him.
Yeah, like, oh man. Okay, and
I can never unsee it now, though. I mean, I know what it looks like.
So Igreus is kind of visibly shaking, not out of fear, but like out of extreme excitement. And you notice something, or at least anybody who's close enough by will notice something. His feet are like partially leaving the ground.
Definitely noticed, because I'm basically eye level with his feet at this point, I would assume.
And his feet are like almost like completely off of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, is there Herman, my friend, is there any particular reason why this flame that was gifted to mankind by Prometheus is here in this rotting town, because if somebody needs to carry it back, I volunteer as tribute.
What I can recommend is you read the third task.
I read the third task.
Hold on, let me. It would be Lauren setting.
Rolling how to decipher these symbols.
Yeah. Third task. Fortunate you are here. The common hearth grows cold, and only the progenitor flame will do.
Okay, so we need to bring the flame to Hestia.
That's a solid
Or any
assumption.
possibility of using the flame before we return it.
There's lots of uses for flame. That's why it's been put in this abandoned... Well, okay, there was a cult that was around the flame, and then the cult was killed out because the gods don't like it, and then was hidden. Look, here's the thing. It is, in fact, dangerous in there. So I'm telling you now.
How dangerous? What kind of thing?
Igreus is not here.
The environment inside there will hurt you greatly. Because of fire.
Okay, so what do you suggest? How do we get it?
I work in a forge.
Yeah. That's the equivalent.
I say again, Igreus is not here.
Oh, did he run into the...
Yeah, so he's already flying literally towards this flame.
Oh.
Is there any way I could stop him? Like, how far away is he? Because we need to prepare.
I'll say go ahead and just roll initiative.
Okay. Can we scum
Fantastic.
save? Can we scum save right now? Like,
before that happens, can I see the center of the pit place location?
No, like the barrier is like blocking anything from seeing into what the actual I think shrine is the right term. So let's see. I'll go ahead and roll for on Kai real fast. That makes sense. So we'll just put her at the end. We'll just say that she is snoozing quietly, snuggling her rat. All right. Anyone between a 25 and a 20?
22.
of course, I had something I wanted to do, and I rolled low initiative.
I have that same mug. Sorry. Yes, that one. 19 to 15.
I got this mug. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, as a free action, can I roll to regret my life choices?
You can always roll to regret your life choices. That is a completely free and fun action. 19 to 15.
I used to sell mugs that said crying is a free action.
How deliciously foreboding.
Yeah, world's gayest dungeon master. I had so many mugs. So if you guys ever want a mug that says something particular, I can just make it for you. I still have all my stuff.
Ooh, that's good to know, actually.
Yeah.
I love mugs. Right,
tumblers too. I still got tumblers.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah.
Focus. So nobody rolled between a 19 and a 15. Fantastic. No. 10 to 9 or 10 to 5 or no, 14 to 10. I can do math.
I got a set. Oh no, it's not my turn yet.
No, the rest of you can go. So I got a 7 for Mrs. Baker. Sophos, a 5. Beautiful.
I feel like Igreus bumped into me and Sophos because I got a 5 also.
Fantastic.
Knocked us over trying to get to this pit.
Took off.
Fantastic.
I was all up under his feet, like, it's disgusting. Jealous. I guess if someone, I guess he'd have to be the one to throw me, or Dynah, because nobody else here is big enough. But I could fly.
Yeah.
Or fall
It's
with
okay. I rolled a 3
Mox.
for on Kai. I don't know what her modifiers are off the top of my head. So
I was so sure they were going to beat me on that.
she's also very far behind. So yeah, no, Igreus, what is your fly speed? I believe it's 60.
Yeah, it's 60 feet.
Fantastic. Mrs. Baker, he is 60-foot fly speed, so we're gonna go ahead and measure. So he'd be starting from here. Let's see. Yeah. He would be just past your field of vision by the time you would react.
Yeah, he's already gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we're gonna die. PPK for Christmas.
So do I go first? Or
Yep. Igreus, so let's start with what you see. You fly into this wall of stone in this dead of night, and it's a beautiful, crisp, cold air because you guys are traveling in late stages of winter in Greece. So it's been a cold night, and as you get closer and hit that first line of stones, you're like, it's kind of. And then by the time with your movement speed you crest that second line of stones, you get hit with a wave of heat. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
okay. Okay, so that's +3. Another 22.
Fantastic. So you make the save. You still take half damage of 9 points of fire damage. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw to make sure you maintain your fly spell.
Well, it's not the spell; it's my feet.
Oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, well, that's just.
Yeah. Then I'm just flying.
All right, cool. So as the wave of heat hits you for 9 points of damage, you are surrounded by fire. And in the center of it, there is a man chained to the wall, like to the ground. Kind of.
Yes.
We'll give it a St. Andrew's cross style restraint.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He's got to be asshole naked, but a cloth, but a loincloth. That's
He doesn't
it.
have a loincloth. He is asshole naked.
This is exactly who Igreus was looking for. Prometheus.
Uh-huh.
That's who he was like. That's who he came in here because he was like, "Oh, I can't see anything."
Mm-hmm.
It's Prometheus.
Yeah.
So what he's going to do? I'm assuming this is like magical flame.
Uh-huh.
Damn. Next time, I'm really gonna take dispel magic, but there aren't any creatures
That's
or
what I
anything
was
like that
thinking.
around. Yeah, because we need to dispel magic because it's magic. I'm sure it's magical fire. So what he's going to do is he's going to fly straight in. If it's 60 feet of movement, how far does he have to reach the chained man? Because that's where he's going, without question.
You get here. The chained man would be where that stone is.
Okay, the center stone.
Mm-hmm.
Without question, he is going to. Believe I have careful spell. No. DM, this is this is for you to confirm, but it says I can use seeking spell to aim at the chain specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do seeking spell to aim at the chains.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 sorcery points, and I am going to cast seeking spell, burning hands on the actual chain, on the chains themselves. Actually, no, I think I'll do it for firebolt. I'm gonna do firebolt at second level.
Make an intelligence check for me.
Got it. Okay, that's a natural 18.
Fantastic. This dude is in a room full of, like, primordial
Fire.
OG fire. Fire is not
Right.
gonna do shit against anything in this room.
I'm just trying to break it. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So what he's going to do then is he's going to still do careful spell, but what he's going to do is how far away is the stone? Is the large stone?
Measuring. So from where you came in, 35 feet. No, 60 feet. 15 feet.
15 feet. Okay, so then he's just going to do his Hell Seekers, which is magic missile at 2nd level, which is I believe it's 4d4 or 4d4 plus 1.
So those will automatically hit the chains because that is what magic missile does. Go ahead, roll your damage and double it, please, because this is force damage.
4.
Let's see.
So you did not have to use your
and then
sorcerer spell.
double it.
That's
Sorcerer
correct.
point.
You wouldn't have to use them. Oh, great. Oh, he still
12,
goes next. That's funny.
24. So that's 24 damage to the chains. And then as a bonus action, he's going to regain a spell slot.
Here's the thing. As you cast that, you see the missile, your Hellseeker missiles hit these chains. You see the chains reverberate, and then the man screams. And because he's next in initiative, what the fuck, man?
What does it say here? I thought it was supposed to, so I'm guessing that the effect is that it messes with the chains.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah, so as a bonus action, I think he's just gonna try to get a spell slot back. But and stuff.
So I'll describe him properly now that you know he's bare ass naked, chained to a St. Andrew's. We'll say it's stone. St. Andrew's cross. You see this beautiful, dark skinned man. He is completely bald, with dark, haunted eyes, and is just fucking ripped. Like the dehydrated musculature because he is in fact dehydrated as fuck. But this gorgeous man, and as he kind of lifts his eyes and locks onto you, the closest thing you would describe him as, is kind of like probably somewhere between a human and a giantkin, but like even older. Like he is from humanity so far back that most of his traits would have like disseminated into culture. And he's incredibly broad, incredibly strong. A good like 7 foot tall if he were to straighten himself up. And he kind of does in his chains. And he kind of takes you in and he goes, all right, I'm going to take that as you trying to do something nice. I want you to
Igreus kind of like Igreus kind of is. He doesn't stare, but he immediately says, "I'm getting you out of here. Where's the bird?"
The bird comes at dawn. But more importantly, you're not. I've been here since before you understood the concept of time. Before you, and he like takes you in for a second, eyeing that you're a drow. Before your people were even people, or at least before you changed. Look, This is... I stand by my decisions. But I made a mockery of a god. And you seem very sweet. But you're not... you're not going to overturn this verdict. And that'll be where he ends. Mrs. Baker, you would then be able to act in initiative.
I can't see them. Is that correct?
Right, because as soon as they get past, if you have Discord up, as soon as you get past, that's not the pointer. As soon as you get past this line of stones, you can't see anything. You just see through it like you are now.
Okay.
I can't hear Mrs. Baker. Is she talking?
Yeah, I can hear Mrs. Baker.
I'm talking.
I can't hear.
Can you hear me? You can't
on?
hear me at all?
Hold on.
Mom.
I can hear you.
Igreus. Did you turn... maybe he turned me down?
Because you're behind the wall of stone.
Igreus.
There we go.
I'm plotting.
Can you hear me now, Mox?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I couldn't hear you at all.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. Knowing that there is a spell, that an illusion spell keeping my precious baby boy out of my sight, I'm gonna try to dispel it.
Okay, cool. Roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Fantastic.
Re-roll that. Uncheck that. Much better. That's a dirty 20.
All right.
30, 20.
As you go to release the spell, you see kind of Herman holds up his hands and kind of waves them for a second. And it occurs to you that at a certain point, gods don't like to be subverted. And Igreus was just able to pass through this barrier.
Right. I think she would probably, realizing that, pull back. Mm-hmm. She doesn't like to piss off any gods. And then I'm gonna go ahead and try to walk through.
Yeah.
I have 35 feet of movement.
So 35 feet would get you there. You can dash and get in. Or do you want to walk right up, because you would still have to dash. You could walk right up to the barrier and kind of stick your head through.
I'd have to dash to stick my through.
Yeah, because you have 35 feet of movement, which puts you here. But you got to get past here to be able to see it.
Yeah, I will dash, and I will stop at the barrier, stick my head through, and reserve the right to walk in.
Awesome. I'm going to let you make the Constitution save at advantage, because you're not completely immersing yourself in there. But make a con save, because as soon as you get hit with that flame, and I'm just going to keep the existing 18, so you can save for half.
All right, that's going to be 19?
Yeah, that is the borderline threshold of what you need. So you're still going to take 9 points of fire damage as you take in this space, which it's weird. You were outside. Everything was outside. You look into this space, and it looks like you're deep, deep underground, surrounded by flames with this man chained in the center of this kind of cavern.
I'm gonna know that it's Prometheus, obviously, from knowing my history.
Also, he's hung.
And
he's naked.
Yeah.
You can see. He's yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wink at him first and say, "Nice, no pants."
Nice cock.
Yeah, perfect penis, Prometheus, my dear.
Nice cock, and I'm a bird herder.
I'm gonna assume we can't help you. How do we get some flame for Hestia?
All right, so
That's what I'm gonna use my action doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I borrow a cup of flame?
Yeah, my bonus action, whatever.
That's fine. The I will allow to the end of your turn. He would then kind of just half-heartedly like gesture with his hands around the room, and just be like, "Fire, you take." Do you want to end your turn with your head in this space, or do you want to pull?
No.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna pull my head out.
Yeah. So you see him kind of.
I'm gonna pull out.
Yeah.
She's gonna pull out. Unlike the gods.
Yeah. I trust Mrs. Baker's pull-out game.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But it's strong.
Oh, you mean with her ye old strap on? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's made out of stone.
Made out of stone and wood.
All right.
It's Mrs. Baker. It's definitely a baked good.
Jesus.
It's a multi-use rolling pin. Anyway, okay, so that'll be the end of your turn. Sophos, Dynah, you guys are acting on the same initiative. Your two companions have run towards the thing, and by this point, having the second one run past him, Herman's just kind of like standing there with like I don't know why I do this expression.
And Mrs. Baker does look singed though, like her hair is singed.
Oh yeah.
And smoking. Mm-hmm. So you guys can do with that information as you will.
Yep.
Oh joy.
Igreus is used to the flame.
You're burning up in there too, bitch.
I'm going in to see if anybody needs me. Run.
Okay. So for Dynah, much like Mrs. Baker, you're gonna have to dash, and you'll be just getting barely within the boundary. But are you?
All right, and I'm in my head as we're going there. I'm thinking Promethean flame. Okay, we need to get the thing. I'm trying to figure out if there's any way I can transport it. I'm trying to see
you have
what.
A torch?
I don't.
You should have standard torches, yeah. You should.
Yeah, look in
your back. Stick on your way in.
Most of you should have.
I have a tinderbox. Yeah, I have a torch. I do have a torch.
Okay. Yeah.
I have 10 torches, so I'm gonna pull out one.
Fantastic.
Or I'm gonna have it ready. I'm gonna have it like at the top of the bag.
So I imagine Dynah's running in with a torch in her hand.
Yeah.
Very Olympian style. Dynah, if I could have you make a Constitution saving throw, because are you running all the way in, or are you pulling a Mrs. Baker where you kind of like lean your head in, see what's beyond that, and pull back out?
I'm assuming I run in. What do I add for inspiration?
Are you using your inspiration? That just means you roll with advantage.
Oh, okay, then I will try one more.
Okay.
Wait. That was... Where is it? Here it is. Constitution. Mm-hmm. There it is.
Fantastic. You still take 9 points of fire damage as you crest.
And
the fun thing is, this room is hella hot. As you have the torch in your hand, extend it up, as you run past the barrier, like as you enter, the torch lights up with fire.
Yeah! Alright, we got it. Igreus, you okay? And then looks up at the... Hello! Okay, you already caught him. Fine. Are we good?
We've got to get him out of here! He kind of shouts over his shoulder.
Oh! Okay!
Right.
Ow! Ow!
Ow.
Okay, I'm looking around. Let's see here. I have a hammer! Looking at the chains.
Yeah. So,
I got a crowbar!
I want a crowbar.
So you announce your items because you did use your action to get in there. So you can't move any further, and you just kind of crested the barrier. So
can I toss him a crowbar with the other hand?
Yeah.
To be like,
make an attack roll. That's funny. Use your unarmed strike.
Like a toss.
Oh, are you trying to hit me?
Unarmed
Do I need to
No,
roll to Dex?
Your
And
dex is
with
high
unarmed
enough.
strike.
If he hits you with it, I'll let you catch it. I just want to see if he can hit you.
Damn it. Hit DC. Yeah, hit DC. Okay, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Tosses a crowbar at him. Here!
Yeah, it's a really
What can you do with that?
It's a really good toss. You kind of catch it mid fling. So that's where you guys leave off. Sophos, what are you doing as Dynah runs next to you towards the wall? Are you keeping pace with her, or are you hanging back?
I heard fire, so I obviously dropped my coat of leaves. Bay shed as many layers of my like I'm literally running in there like I show up in my small clothes, like cause I've run and found out a few times. I bet I know what it feels like to be on fire, and I don't think she wants to do that again. I feel like she's just wise enough to get nearly naked as soon as she hears the word fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I run in, but I am stripping on my way in.
Okay.
Make sure I don't catch on fire. It's the first time y'all have seen me without like all of my leafy regalia.
Okay.
I am still covered in dirt somehow, even in the places I wore clothes.
Just so much dirt. Okay, so for the strip, make a dexterity check as you're running. Because the main thing is I want to know if you beef it, so you face plant, so you can't fully succeed on your dash. That's the main thing I'm watching.
I love this plan. Okay, dexterity?
Yeah.
Saving throw?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, oh yeah, you are a practice at running and stripping. It seems
Stripper.
that would 100% be within your
Emergency
wheelhouse.
stripper. Nothing sensual about it. She's absolutely all utility. I know what layer to start with and everything, like a cake.
Yeah. It's not sexy. It's not alluring. It is a very practice, like, shrug off this, throw off that, kick off the shoes mid-run. Okay, awesome. Are you pulling a Mrs. Baker where you are standing at the barrier, leaning your head in and pulling out, or are you running a full 50 feet into the space? Because it still puts you barely within the space.
I don't think she would have made two wise choices in a row.
Fantastic. So you use your full 50 feet of movement. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw against the fire. Womp. Womp. Oh, fantastic!
Lucky points.
You had so many high rolls today. This 4 was deserved. Go ahead and take 18 points of fire damage as you end your turn, surrounded by fire. Seeing a flying Igreus, a torch-wielding Dynah. At this point, you would have seen Dynah chuck the crowbar at Igreus, and the naked man who is currently chained to a St. Andrew's cross.
A huge cock.
Huge cock.
Huge cock.
He's hot. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, the police and the fireman.
I am nearly bloody.
Yeah. It's great, because now that you're in this place, you're going to take the damage at the top of your round, too. That's very exciting for me.
Oh
right.
my god.
So now
I'm like maniacally laughing as my hair is catching fire.
Yeah, so
it's not, though. Never mind. I take it back. Can I fucking point to redo that roll?
So now that you're in here, is there anything you want to communicate,
or
are
no.
you just taking it all in?
If I make you into a gaseous form, can you wriggle out of there? Is this possible? It's fucking like balls of burden. I don't even have those. I'm complaining as I ask.
He's taking in the situation, and he's just like, I don't think you guys understand what it means to be cursed by the gods. If you were to attempt to polymorph me, nothing would happen. It's been tried before. I have a really large cult. This is my
Totally thought you were gonna say something else.
Look, man, I've been naked for a long time. So this is just what it is. It stopped being sexual to me centuries ago. So, hi, great that you're all here, seeing me naked, surrounded by fire. Great
I'm
time to jump
immediately
in,
casting
Rev.
gaseous form of myself.
Oh, actually, it works out perfectly, because on Kai, I rolled for you, and you are last in initiative. To catch you up, Rev, if you look at the shared screen, inside this lovely circle of stones, once you get past this barrier, from the outside, you can't see anything. When you are inside this, you see a cavern filled with flame with a beautiful naked man attached to a St. Andrew's cross. This man would be Prometheus. And they are currently trying to get primordial flame, which currently Dynah has succeeded in doing. So currently, beyond the barrier, so you cannot see them any longer, is Igreus, Dynah herself, as well as Sophos. Mrs. Baker is right at the edge of the barrier. She stuck her head in and then pulled her head back out, and is severely singed, so you can see that from the outside. And you are coming to on the wagon. It's also the middle of the night. So welcome.
Okay. And I apologize.
Trail of leafy cloves.
Welcome to the
leading
party, pal.
Sorry for showing up late. I just got home from work.
No, you're totally fine.
Absolutely.
And welcome.
Can you give me a quick rundown as to what happened last session, just because I can't fully remember?
Okay, last session, you met back up after the orgy. You guys bartered for horses and a wagon to take to Delphi. You started on the path to Delphi. You spent your first night in the woods, woke up, there were crows. The next day you hit the road, and you avoided confrontation with a fleet of axe beaks through the beautiful actions of Mox. You then start this session getting at the end of that day. So this is the day you ran into the giant birds. They decided to continue into the night to kind of make better time. And in the middle of the road, there was a large pile of earth. That earth turned into a shambling mound, and the druid politely asked it to not eat you guys. And having lost the element of surprise, it rolled away into the forest, which led you to acknowledging that there's a big stone structure over here. And then you guys started to investigate it. And when you did, Herman appeared and said, "Hey, don't go in there." And you guys proceeded to go in there. Oh, also,
one done.
You, the party actively sexually harassed Herman to the point of telling you what's inside the barrier. Of like, yeah, it's primordial flame, stop trying to see my cock. So yeah.
That wasn't me.
On Kai, Herman's cock is the perfect cock, by the way.
It is
girthy and of a length that isn't too big. It is the perfect penis.
I mean, if there's going to be ever a penis that's perfect, you would want it to be, attached to a god.
Right.
Attached to be somebody who was portrayed by Nathan Fillion.
That's right.
That's fair.
Oh God. Now I'm gonna forever think that Nathan Fillion has the perfect cock.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd want one attached to a god, because that means eventually possibly birthing a god, and those things come in weird forms sometimes.
Yeah.
The thought of hooves coming out is a little alarming.
I mean, you could have a baby come out of your forehead, and that's never good.
Yep.
Yeah, there's only one way to remove one of those. It's called an axe to the forehead.
Yeah.
A literal splitting headache. All right, Ankai, anything else you need caught up on?
So we're by these standing stones. It's dark. Like, there's darkness. There's flames.
You cannot see the flames, so if you're looking at the screen, to get to the barrier would be 45 feet. So you would have to dash, because the cart is at this tree. And then to get in there, because you have 30 feet of movement, so if you used all 60 of your feet, this is right about where you'd show up. And then right here is where Prometheus is. But you wouldn't see any of the flames until you got here. As of right now, it is a dark and dreary night. And you are in a cart, and your friends are running towards Standing Stones. Beyond
And
that,
you see
are
Mrs.
unsure.
Baker friend singed.
Yes. Currently, you see Mrs. Baker and Hermes, and Herman is just standing there with kind of a, well, fuck it, we ball, I guess, look on his face.
Be alright.
Well, shit. Okay. I could tell you that the majority of my spell list is not going to be useful here. So fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and use my movements, like my full dash, to get up at least next to Mrs. Baker.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, you're going to get next to Mrs. Baker, so that's going to take about 45 feet of your movement. Are you going to stick your head through the barrier?
I mean, other members of the party are already through, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Baker's going to be like, don't do it, honey.
YOLO. I'm going to hop through.
Are you going to... Okay.
They never listen to me. They never listen to me.
You use 50 feet of your movement. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good. That's one of the ones I'm bad at.
Uh-huh.
That's a 1.
Fantastic. You take...
Total of a 6.
I'm not...
That's a 1.
No, I'm not gonna... You know what? No, I'm gonna punish you a little bit.
I just resisted the urge to say punish me, Dungeon Mistress.
You're gonna take 18 points of fire damage. You're also gonna slip. You can scramble 5 feet back out if you choose at the end of your turn, but you have used your movement and your action to get in. You take in, as you run past this illusionary wall, you are now surrounded. You were just outside on a cool, brisk, late winter's night, and you are now deep underground, surrounded by fire. You see a beautiful naked man attached to a St. Andrew's cross, and as you take all this in, you slip and fall on your ass. And you have a strong sinking suspicion that if you end your turn in this space, you're gonna have to take more fire damage. So do you use 5 feet of movement to grab crawl back out of the room?
Good thing is I still have a bonus action. I've already committed, so how far in would I have to go to be outside of these flames?
Oh no, anything in the room, bad fire. 5 feet out will get you back into the cold air.
Okay, so regardless, I'm going to be taking heat if I stay here at any point.
Correct.
Okay, so then I will go ahead and back out then, because I could take that hit once. I don't think I could take it twice.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to shout anything now that you're in the room? I'll give you a few seconds to be like, "Oh shit, fire!" and then, or do you just kind of take in the scene and scramble out, or is there anything that you want to do with the bonus action before you crab crawl out of the space?
I mean, 2 of our party members are already in the fire, right?
Yeah, there's three of you guys are in the space. So again, it's Dynah, Igreus, and Sophos are all in the room. Oh, Sophos stripped on her way into the fire pit.
I mean, she probably doesn't want to lose all of her leaves.
Yeah.
Exactly. I decided she could only make one wise decision per turn, so she chose to strip all the leaves rather than stop at the edge. The second one would naturally be the disregarded one.
Yeah, so there's nobody else that I need to inform that there's fire. Because 3 of them are currently on fire, and me and Mrs. Baker are burned.
Yep. So you
mildly. I'm mildly on fire.
Just a little.
I'm fucking on fire.
So you crab crawl out. I will say you're starting your next turn prone. So it's going to take half of your movement to stand back up. but you crawl out of the fire portal, and you're on the ground laying next to Mrs. Baker, who I'm assuming is staring at you with a "I fucking told you."
Yes, 100%. The sternest mother look you ever saw in your life. Like, I fucking told you were going to shoot your eye out with that BB gun.
She immediately caves and says, "I'm sorry."
Fantastic. All right, so we're back at the top of the round. Igreus, you had a crowbar tossed to you. Prometheus has repeatedly warned you that you probably won't be able to get him out of the space. And at the start of your turn, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Natural 19.
Fantastic. All right. So
yeah.
we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. So, it's another 18. So you're going to take another 9 points of fire damage.
Okay, and as that happens, Igreus says, "Be quiet," as he talks to Prometheus, and he says, "The position of a god is to serve, and this serves nothing. We will get you out of here one way or another. You, as a god, should do your duty, and you have served humanity well. So, you can choose freedom, willfully or not." And he's going to run over to the stone, twirling the crowbar. Well, not run. He's floating over to the stone, twirling the crowbar in hand and kind of slipping it into his Actually, he's not gonna slip it into. He's gonna have to hold it, and he starts like removing heavy layers of his clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Until he gets to about the pants, where he's just bare chested because of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to take out his drachmadeckers and just start punching the stone, trying to like break it into pieces so the chain slips off.
Okay. Roll your attack rolls. So I believe that's 2 strikes?
Yes, plus an action surge.
Oh, so 3 strikes.
Okay, so the first one's natural 18 plus...
That'd be 4 strikes.
No, because bonus actions are not part of the action surge.
Nope. So that's natural 18 plus 6.
That hits.
Jesus Christ, that was a natural 20 plus 6.
Fantastic.
And that's a 12 plus 6. So 18, 24, and 26.
Yeah, all 3 would hit. For your natural 20, add an additional damage die. I'll go ahead and give that to you. And then generally double your damage.
Okay. So plus a damage die. 30 plus a damage die. And double damage. Dang, really? Again? 24.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, hold on. I counted that wrong. 24. 4. 39. I'm sorry, 39.
So that was your natural 20?
Yep, doubled.
Okay. And what was your other 2 rolls?
So let's see here. The other one was let's see, 4, 9, and a 2.
All right. Awesome sauce. So as you lay into the stone, Sophos and Dynah, you hear this and you see the reaction as Igreus starts laying into the stone. Prometheus screams, and you see the energy from the entire room shift and then flow into him. Any damage that is done in this space is directly affected to Prometheus. To break his bonds is to kill him.
Damn, and it's my turn?
Actually, it's his turn, and he just kind of I'll say he has tried arguing. He just kind of slumps in his chains, sets his jaw, and kind of stares in that middle distance. This is a person who has practiced taking damage, has been practiced being tortured for centuries, and he like that second lay of hits, that natural 20. You see like the eyes darken, and he just kind of relaxes into the torture. So yes, Dynah, it is now your turn.
What about me?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Mrs. Baker is in fact next.
Oh yeah.
You don't hear anything inside the room. So with your head out, you don't hear anything. It's not until you lean back in that you'd be able to take in any information. So as of right now, you hear beautiful night air with the chirping birds.
Yeah.
And...
I do know Igreus though.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have a pretty good idea of what's happening inside the barrier, and I am going to, or Mrs. Baker is going to immediately center herself and reach out to Hestia and ask for help. Mrs. Baker's going to say, I know that we are not to free Prometheus. Like, this is not going to be possible. But I don't think my companions understand this. And I need you. I need some kind of help. We will bring you fire, but I need your help.
Awesome.
That's what she's going to do.
Go ahead and make your persuasion roll for me.
All right.
Also, as you kind of will this and center yourself, you see Herman shift. And you would be the only one who catches this. He is no longer in his human form. Think kind of biblically accurate angel. You see an almost perfect version of him, but like spooky face style with like elongated ears, all of his features sharp, and his cheekbones are now like razor sharp. You see like the bones extend and shift. You see the wings extend from his heels. And it's in like all of his limbs just kind of elongate for a second, and you see a hint of a cloak fall around him, and his eyes shift.
I say, oh, there you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's a 25.
And it's in a moment. They shift. And you see a shimmer of their image, and then they return to the humanoid form leaning against the stone. And he kind of locks eyes with you and goes, "You might want to move." And
yeah, she does. She does.
And yeah, that's the. Unless you want to do anything else, I'll say that's your action. Is there anything with a bonus action you want to do?
Can I reach in with a torch and get some fire just in case?
Yeah, I'll say you've experienced enough. Now, you don't know for sure it's gonna light, but if you just not risking any damage, you could just hold a torch in and pull it out and see if it lights. I will allow that as your bonus action.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and because we've already established physics here, it does, as you pull it out, it is lit with flame, and the flame itself is different than most flames you've seen. And as someone who worships around a hearth and is familiar with a hearth fire, this almost has a liquid, almost plasma-like shift to it as it moves and twists. It's weird for fire to feel so solid in this odd sense. Like, yeah. So do you use your 35 feet move to back it up?
Oh, I get the fuck out of there as soon as he. I mean, I'm old and have been around the block with gods before. I am the fuck out.
Yep. So you shuffle back your 35 feet. You're just like, okay, cool, fire. That's weird fire. I'm just gonna hustle it back. All right. So that's the end of your turn. You're not quite sure what is gonna happen, but you know there was a response.
Yeah, I felt heard.
Yeah. Sophos, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
I just came back. I was putting the baby. All right. On.
Because Dynah, we'll get to you right after this, because I know you're going to do more in the space.
No worries.
I'm serious this time! Let this go, I'm using it!
Go ahead and take...
No, let me use my lucky point, please!
18 points of fire
I don't
damage.
want to die. No, but I really can't use my lucky point.
If you have inspiration, you're more than welcome to use it.
But lucky only works for nat ones.
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Unless you took the lucky feat. That's different. I think you could just...
I did.
Oh, then yeah. You could just,
yeah, I have the lucky feat. That's why I keep asking for a lucky point, because I got it.
Oh, yeah. You could just do that.
Oh, it's me with
that. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just reroll.
Okay, well, then I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm going to reroll that. I don't know what that means.
With a natural 20.
What does that mean?
Hell
that's a nat 20?
Yeah, that's a nat 20.
Oh my God.
So you take 9.
And smiled upon me.
So like you feel the flames and you kind of feel that moment of like, ooh, I'm gonna have a little bit of a heat stroke and black out for a second. And for the rest of you in the room, as you kind of dig into yourself and you're like, nah, I've gotten through worse. I luck is on my side. You see from the earthen floor, vines kind of wrap around and bolster her for a moment. And as Sophos kind of sets herself in this environment that is very not good for plant druids, you see a resolve enter her eyes. You still take 9 points of fire damage.
That's totally fine with me. I can handle 9.
But you feel...
She's like, I have the power of God and anime on my side.
That is, in fact, but it's weird, because as you know it's the heat around you, but you feel a warmth in your chest, like you just took a shot of really good whiskey. Of, like, that warming sensation, rather than the oppressive heat that you're surrounded in. Alright.
Am I on my turn, or was that just check to see if I'm dying?
Yeah, that was the start of your turn. Just for being in the space, you're gonna take that initial damage. Now you have your action, bonus action, and movement.
Oh, cool. I am gonna get out of there. I think this is the part in the turn where I have wisdom.
I wave the torch at her and be like, take this with you!
Yeah, do you want to grab the torch? Because you would have been right next to Dynah. You have the exact same movement speed.
Yeah, I got a shot right now! Thank you! And I putter my way out.
Alright, are you using just 25 of your movement, or are you double dashing again?
No, I just want to get out. As far as I need to get out, whatever I need to do that, I'll do that.
Yeah, you'll get about...
Is that all of my movement? Do I have to rush it?
With your standard movement, you get about there to that little stump. But you'd be out of the space, you'd be back onto the outside environment.
Yeah, let me just get right next to Miss Baker, just so she can tell me I told you so, because I know that's going to happen on my way out.
She's
I
further
need
back.
my mother, I need someone to tell me that.
She's substantially further back than you, like another 15 feet.
Okay, then fuck it. Get me as far out as my movement will get me.
Yeah.
I am looking very disapprovingly.
Okay. So you
welcome it.
You dash out of there, just holding a torch, and you see Mrs. Baker also holding a torch with just like the fucking. Yep.
It just means you care about me.
It does.
Yes.
I smile at your shame.
Perfect. Dynah, you are now in the space. Sophos took your torch. What are you doing?
Am I making a con throw first?
Oh yeah, Constitution saving throw. That is correct. Oh, look at you. Take 18 points of fire damage.
Oh, I didn't make the DC.
No, the DC is 18.
I'm out of inspiration. Oh, it's 18. Oh dear. Okay, I'm feeling the heat.
Also,
I don't know if I'm ready to get out of the kitchen.
The damage is the same, but I want you to know that the dice have increased once per round. So each round that it comes to it, because right now it's 5d4 or 5d6s. Next round it is going to be 6. I just happened to roll the same number twice. So it's getting hotter the longer you're in there. But yeah, you're going to take 18 points of fire damage at the top of your round.
Hold on. 37, 26, 15? Yeah. Dang, that was a lot. Alright, how far is Igreus and Mr. Man from me?
Yeah, so you would be 50.
Everybody has a good berry in our party.
That is correct. Everyone has a good berry. You would be right here, so at the 50-foot mark. And so to them, it would be another 20 to 25 feet, depending on how close you wanted to get. Like, if you wanted to interact with Prometheus, it would be 25 feet. If you wanted to just interact with Igreus, it would be 20 feet.
Alright, well, I start with the call out to them. Igreus! What are you doing? Look at him! I don't know if I get a response.
Igreus is really focused on punching these stones, but he kind of stops. And he's breathing very heavily as he is staring at Prometheus. But that's about it right now.
There's not much we can do. I think he's right. And I look over for like, come this way, or if you're not gonna move, I'm gonna go that way.
I'll say that's about all the interaction you can get before, like, your 6 seconds is rolling out.
Before it becomes an action.
Do whatever you need to do. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yep.
It's already been.
I will advise you probably can't survive another round in this room.
I know, but we're here in the fire, and you've already lost one. And if something happens to you, Baker is not going to be happy about this. We're Baker's baddies.
He's gonna grumble.
I walk towards him and emphasize. I go up. I go up to the cross. I walk towards him, emphasizing, "We need to go."
And he kind of grumbles and he says, "Then go."
So if you need to do this, and as I'm walking towards, like, this whole interaction as I'm walking towards him, all right, fine. Activate inflict wounds. Watch, and I'll try inflict wounds, and with it wouldn't be the goosebump, with Dynah's bite. Hit a chain. Like, and looking like sorry at Prometheus, but like, He's not budging, so I'm either gonna help him or we're gonna fail together here.
Okay.
So inflict wounds, and really quickly, I just want to point out because I'm looking at it, because I know, like I was reading it, and it says, oh, actually, no, it's not. It's not on here, but constructs are not living creatures, but they're not immune to necrotic damage. Metal constructs may rapidly age, rust, or otherwise deteriorate. Does that also count for things like chains in a normal setting, if that's what we're hitting to try to break it?
You would. This is a power that you have, and this is a substance that you are familiar with. You've worked with metal. You know that when you've used this type of power in the past, for mundane metal, it has essentially caused them to rust and crumble apart. So it's a shot. You are fully certain that if you do this, it's not going to do anything to the chain. But yes, mundane metal would normally rust under this touch. So go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Wait. I have magical weapon, but I need to see if it's an action or if it's a feat, or if I can talk to.
Because you're doing a spell. So this
is magic weapon is a bonus action. Oh. Sorry, continue.
So yeah, you can cast that as a bonus action. But inflict wounds, you're essentially because you're kind of using your weapons as a focus because you're a forged cleric. You're bopping it with the weapon, but it's essentially a touch spell, and you would use your spell attack modifier. So it's a +4 to hit. So if you hit inflict wounds and hit cast, it would do the +4 to do it. So inflict wounds, you hit cast, and then right next to it is that +4 to hit, and then the 3d10 damage.
Okay, so I get as close as it takes to do the hit and spell, and I look over at Igreus and
roll.
This is what we have to do. Let's see if it works.
Roll to hit. And this is all your movement too, to get up and touch the cross.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Attack. It's Dynah's bite.
No, you wouldn't use Dynah's bite.
Oh, no.
You would go to the spell.
The spell. Okay, so where's the spell? Let me see here. Spell. I've used.
So past inventory. So spells. You would go to first level.
I'm casting magic. Am I casting magic weapon also, or just the inflict wounds?
You can do both. You might want to start with inflict wounds, cast that.
Yeah.
And then.
Okay. Cast.
And then see that.
I'm casting it at second level, I think.
Okay, then cast it second level. And you see that +4. Go ahead, hit that. That'll roll your d20.
Okay. I swing back and oh no! I used my inspiration.
That's Oh well, we'll go ahead and use your one for Dynah's bite because it would have been the same anyway. A 12 will hit a piece of chain that's just in front of you. That's fine.
Oh yeah, fair.
Roll your damage, which is 3d10. Or no, 4d10 because you upcast it.
Okay. So I'll roll a 3d10 and then I'll roll another 10.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you go to the spell that you get just cast, if you just hit the
Yeah, well.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh no. How do I clear this? Okay, there we go. D10 roll.
Sometimes we just want to roll the clicky clacks.
Yeah.
9.
All right. So
9 plus.
No.
It was just a 3d10. Yeah, 9.
Igreus, as you see this, you see the energy transfer from the chains down into Prometheus, and you see the veins around his restrained wrist blacken with necrotic energy, and he just kind of winces into it, and you see a couple new beads of sweat on him.
In that case, I'm glad I didn't do a lot of damage.
Yep. So, Dynah, do you use your bonus action to cast your magic weapon as well?
I was going to cast it to see if it would affect the magic in the metal at all, because it's not mundane metal.
No, it wouldn't.
Would I know that, or would that?
You have enough experience around forging. You know the basics of enchanting forgery, because that's kind of your whole basis of being a forge cleric. So yeah, you would understand that magic would not affect the chain itself.
Okay, so then there's no point in casting it.
Essentially.
Okay, so in that case, I'll. I know that I'll do it for effect.
Okay, so your mace lights up.
I'll do it for effect to show Igreus what's happening. And how it's going. He already sees the necrotic going. We'll do the magic weapon, and so I strike again, or is that
that would be the end of your turn.
In addition to, huh?
Your magic weapon essentially just bolsters your weapon itself.
Okay, so it's like retroactively applied.
Yeah. You essentially activate your lightsaber.
Perfect. Okay, so he sees the magic going, and I see that effect happen. Mm-hmm. It doesn't affect it, and I looked at it because I was hopeful, and then I look up at him. Mm-hmm. So we keep trying, sweating, looking ready to fall over.
All right.
Told you to leave.
And I think that's the end of my turn.
Yep, that's the end.
You said do what I need to do.
So that takes us to Ankai, who's on the ground next to the thing, staring up at the night sky. What you doing, Ankai?
Would Ankai have heard Hermes tell me to run?
Oh yeah. You did not see, because you would have been laying on the ground, so you didn't see Hermes. You would have not known that he shifted or that they changed. You would just know that he said you want to move. And you would have noticed like a change in his tone from being like kind of cavalier to like, nah, I got a job to do. This is my job. So he passed on a very distinct message.
Also, did I hear her prayer to Hestia?
No, you just yeah, she would have been like just centering herself. That was more of a will. You just happened to be in the presence of the messenger god who's like, yeah, I hear all of this shit.
Okay. Second question. Mm-hmm. Would Ankai be any form of on fire or smoldering?
You are sooty and singed. Not currently on fire.
Okay. Because I was concerned more on the depending on how that was going to work with the clothing aspect, but I have a point to that. All right. So I will get up and I will take my 15 feet back. Mm-hmm. As I'm doing so, because she's going to realize this is outside of what she's capable of doing. Mm-hmm. Her magic is very much for a single individual, not these grand levels of magic that you get for areas of effect and planar shifting and these types of things are outside of her realm. Mm-hmm. And as she's moving, she is going to actually take the singed clothes off. And once she's at the distance she's able to do, she will take the soot that's on the skin and actually quickly do runes on the ground.
Everybody's getting
we'll reach out loudly, verbally, and go, I don't talk to you much, but I need your help.
Uh-huh.
I can't retrieve them. I ask that either you grant me the ability to, or you allow them an exit.
All right, awesome. Make a persuasion check.
Now two of you you have tattled to us to the gods. Damn it! Oh no!
That is a 23.
Fantastic.
Don't you be dropping names, my friends.
So,
Don't you be dropping names.
First things first. That large crow that you had talked to earlier lands on your shoulder. And you see Hermes, like, as you're like, I don't ask for much, like, his eyes immediately lock to you. Because before he was kind of leaned against the pillar, just kind of looking like he was waiting for something to happen. And as you say that, his eyes lock to you, and you see the very similar thing of him shifting and changing. Sophos, you do not see this. As he shifts and changes.
No, I'm like...
elongated version of himself. And again, like the biblically accurate, scary Fey version of himself. All of his features just sharpen. But he immediately relaxes when the crow lands on you and kind of just tilts his head. And the crow lands on you and caws very loudly next to your ear. So that would be your action. That was your 15 foot of movement. Do you want to do anything with a bonus action?
Do I feel anything that I'm anything more than what I'm normally capable of doing?
No, you don't feel new powers. You feel heard.
Okay, then I stay, what's the word for it? Prostrated?
Yeah. Alright, cool beans. So that is Sophos, not so thematically, but using a luck point, asking for help. That is Mrs. Baker, that is on Kai, who've all reached out for assistance. Fantastic. That doesn't matter, though, because those reactions won't happen till the beat of 20. On the beat of 22, we got Igreus. Make a Constitution saving throw for me. Ooh, and I get
17,
to roll dice.
natural 17.
Natural 17, for a total of?
Natural 17 for a total of 20.
Awesome
Dirt.
sauce. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God, this is rolling like shit. 13. Halved to 6 points of fire damage at the top of your round.
Okay. You heard me. That's why
So,
you're rolling like shit.
He immediately kind of puts his Drakmar Deckers on his hips and he turns and over his shoulder looks at Prometheus and he says, I'll be coming back for you later. And he grabs Dynah if she's willing and just blows out of there, double dash, like holding Dynah in tow. So that's
technically she is a small.
Yeah, so that's 120 feet. So you can just out of there.
As you're picking me up and I see that, sorry, real quick to interrupt, I go, we'll find a way if it's meant to be.
And he just silently blows out of there, and you guys see him come flying out at full speed at an angle, and then behind you slams into the dirt, digging both his feet into the ground and kind of creating these two trenches as he drags and slides to a stop. And he puts Dynah down, and he throws his head back, and he says, "Ugh!" And he lets out this flame this flame burst from his mouth into the air, and it kind of just flies up and into a glowing flame. And he looks over his shoulder at you all, and then he just kind of starts walking back. And if anybody was looking closely, you would see those black footprints again in the dirt as he's walking back towards the cart. And just if you listen close enough, you can hear his feet almost like rumbling the ground with each step, sort of.
Fantastic. Make an athletics check for me. You wanted to do a 3-point superhero landing. I need to know if you beef it.
Okay, so I didn't. For some reason tonight, on the night when we don't need these rolls, I roll a natural 20 times. So
Ah! Woo! Full moon, baby! Alright,
just
awesome. Yeah, it's rad as shit. Guys, it's as cool as it could have possibly have fucking been. It's cool as shit. Um, but as that
Mrs. Baker, proud.
Oh yeah, but as that moment hits, on the beat of 20, several things happen. Mrs. Baker, you smell the smell of flatbread cooking in a nice hearth fire as the wind blows past you. Ankai, you hear, actually everyone would hear this, the cacophony of crows. And you are all swept up. As the darkness of the murder of crows takes over, you just see wings and you hear the cawing and you feel a warmth, but not the same fire that you had felt within the space, but of a nice hearth warming home. And you guys are no longer in the space that you were in. I don't have that map ready, but I think I can get it. You guys realize that you are in a mountainside. If I could have someone roll percentiles for me.
I have a big ball of percentiles. What do you need?
Yeah, just roll. Roll a nice percentile for me. Alright, let me...
While this is
99.
going on, can Sage like pull out her
99?
duty of healing and like light it with Prometheus's fire?
Not yet. So 99.
99.
Holy shit. Yeah, the cart and the horses arrive with you fine. There was a
Good.
solid chance that the horses were not gonna fucking make it.
No!
Trying to get this to go. There we go. There we go. Leave that. No? Okay. You're just okay. Anyway, so you guys feel a cool breeze rush across you as you realize that you're on a mountainside. And you realize that you're looking over the Temple of Delphi. Further up the mountain, you're not even on the road. You're on a nearby mountain range. Like, you can kind of look down into the cavern, or into the chasm, and see it.
Did my clothes make it?
With the 99 percentile, yes. Your clothes fall into the cart.
What a quiet thing.
Igreus is sitting on top of
the.
Igreus is sitting on top of the canopy of the cart.
Mm-hmm.
His knees kind of up to his chest and his arms sort of wrapped over it, and he's kind of just staring down into the valley, his head sort of tucked in between his knees. And he's just sitting up there.
Meanwhile, Ankai is naked, singed, and mildly confused.
Your clothes are also piled into the cart.
What's left of them, at least.
Yep. You also notice, Ankai, around your wrist is a silver charm bracelet. And currently, there is a silver trinket, or a silver charm of a crow on it.
Do I have the thing? I don't have the thing. I'm just gonna look over it. Would I do a Arcana or a Religion on that?
Do a religion
Kind of
check.
figure out what I'm looking at. Okay. Nope. That was an 8. I promise I'm good at it.
Awesome. So yeah, you you're like, that's bonkers, a charm bracelet. How'd that happen?
Jingle it a little bit.
It's very well made. Feels nice. Feels cold to the touch.
Has Mrs. Baker been here? If we're going to someplace for Hestia, have I made this journey before to a temple here, or?
Yes, you would have gone in your childhood with your parents. Probably at whatever halfling age appropriate quinceañera would have been.
Okay.
Because they would have
Why
considered
then?
you a blessing, and they had a
Why
lot of
then?
connection to
Why?
Hestia. So yeah, so they would have taken you there as like a little pilgrimage as you were
Please,
coming of
wow.
age.
Okay. All right. So I recognize where we are.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since you've been here, but yeah, you recognize Delphi.
Okay. And are we close to Hestia? Like, are we going to her temple?
Well, you were supposed to go by the Temple of Delphi first, but yeah, you can kind of see a little bit further down in the valley that there is a town. Because there's like the temple that's a little bit separated, and then Hestia's actual temple would have been closer to the township itself.
Are we alone?
Oh, on this mountain ridge? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have one very confused owl that is staring at you.
I think Mrs. Baker would look up towards Igreus and everyone else, and I guess we have another mission to go on at some point, huh?
Mm.
I think that particular job is going to take a lot more research than we've done. Igreus, we need to find out how to complete that particular puzzle with a little more preparation.
So you
Yes.
say this, Mrs. Baker, as you're holding the torch in one hand, and you realize you're not sure when, but you've been holding something in your offhand this whole time. And it kind of takes you a moment, and you look down, and you see a large, kind of lantern? I guess that would be the thing. You know, a thing that you could put very precious fire into.
Yeah, I definitely dip it in there.
Mm-hmm. It lights, and the same kind of shifting plasma-like flame settles in. And when you look at the craftsmanship of this lantern, and mind you, it is large, especially compared to your body. It's essentially the size of your torso. But as you kind of take it in, you see several of the iconography associated with Hestia kind of surrounding the space.
Okay. Now, what was our mission? Was just to light a hearth or light?
Your current mission was to go talk to Pan, because you would have passed Pan on your way into town, except for you're kind of past where you would have met Pan.
Right, and we're on to number 3. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm just going to look around. Any suggestions?
So at this point, Sage, takes the fire of Prometheus she's been holding that she got from Dynah, pulls out her doobie of healing, lights it up with said Prometheus's fire. Okay, some good shit. Hold on a second, guys. Do you want some? Anybody need some here? Hand it out. Dynah, you look pretty bad, baby.
Because you lit it with the fire of Prometheus, I'll let it do an extra d6 of healing. So it's a d4 and a d6.
Yay!
That's funny as shit.
Anybody else need a hit?
I will happily take one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will
I'm
allow
by
everyone
8.
one hit. That's very funny. As Sophos, what's it? Freaking Oh, not
So it's D6 plus what?
it's a
Desecrates the fire of the gods.
it's a D6 and a D4.
Okay.
We'll actually keep Sophos's roll since she already rolled it. It's just going to be an 8 across the board for
Oh.
everyone as you
Oh,
shotgun
yeah.
one to the other this puff of
Oh.
dank healing.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
I call it peppery lips.
Fantastic. It is now like
She's just like a burning, like, I'm just sooty. I have like singes coming out of my hair, and only after I have hit the doobie of healing do alright, I guess I better do this. And I hop off the cart and I just stop, drop, and start rolling around, bathing myself in dust. Then I hold up a handful. Anybody wants this? This is some pretty good shit too. I'm just saying.
you take a moment and find the biggest dust pile you can and just kind of roll, take it in the earth. It is now the equivalent to like 1 a.m. You guys have had a day. Do you want to rest here for the night?
I fall asleep in the dirt. Someone pick me up if we leave. Don't forget me.
I think, as hurt as some of us are, I think a rest is due.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like if we walk into that town, I'm gonna find trouble. I'm not gonna get the rest I need.
Alright. So you want to rest here?
I mean, how far is it to town where we could find an inn?
You have no idea. You can kind of see the town, but it's all rocks and mountains and kind of difficult passageway. You're not on a road anymore. You're just on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, that sounds like a future Enkai problem.
Yeah. You asked for help and the gods were like, I'll fucking right, let's move you someplace. This gets you away from the primordial fire and the watching eyes of the gods that are really pissed.
That's kind of as we're like setting up for camp. I'm like, we need to talk. This is a good time to talk, and we need to talk about the gods and what they could possibly do to us when we piss them off. I think we all, and I am like staring, like the mom stare at every, like my eyes are stopping for several seconds on every single fucking one of you. Like
I'm the middle child here.
Yeah, in the whole, like, I am giving you a stern lecture voice. We need to remember what the gods can do to us and how Prometheus got in this position to begin with. We do not need to be on that radar. Things
But
need
Prometheus
to be done
did something he was like directly told not to do. Nobody told us not to do what we did. I'm just saying.
He is cursed by the gods. And what we were trying to do wasn't work because we didn't do this smart. We didn't talk about it. We rushed headlong into almost death. Dynah almost died.
I'm alright. I'm alright.
So
I
we need
smack you.
to remember to do things smart. We have eyes on us currently because we're trying to do these 12 labors. So we are being watched.
Yes,
We are
ma'am.
being watched.
Igreus kind of gets up and he just walks away from the group.
Mrs. Baker, under her breath, is going to say, Hades, help me.
Kids' voice.
Dynah looks off after him like, Alright.
Yeah, he kind of finds a solid, secluded spot. Is there anywhere that's near here that's like out of earshot at least?
Yeah, you can kind of find a little perch, kind of like. I imagine Igreus goes up, or no, he's kind of he's a drow. Would he go down? You could find like a slightly elevation change, and kind of stare out into the middle distance valley and be just just out of eyesight and earshot of the group if you choose to.
Yeah, so that's what he does. He kind of finds a little small outcropping
Mm-hmm.
to himself. He kind of sits down again with his knees sort of up to his chest, and he starts to speak as if he's speaking to someone, which in his case he is. And he said, "This makes no sense. Do you hear me, brother? This makes no sense. Prometheus was put in the place that he was placed in because of something he wanted to do for humanity. He wanted to save people, and the gods got angry with him. Prometheus' job is to serve like any other god, not to be tortured day in and day out. I cannot even know who my family is, and yet we are watched like hawks by the gods. Why should I care, brother? Why should I give a damn about what they think, about what they feel?" And he kind of looks up, and you see he grabs a rather large boulder, and he kind of throws it off the cliff into the distance, and he's, "Tell me."
Roughly how far away do you think that he walked away from the group?
Far enough that he was out of earshot. I distinctly said that.
Probably about 60 feet.
So within range of detect thoughts.
Does detect thoughts require a visual?
Let me double check.
And he's still just talking.
Yeah.
I wanted to help people. I wanted to use these gifts that you taught me, brother, to save the people who cannot save themselves.
It's within 30 feet, not 60.
Okay. So
and I cannot even do that.
So this is the first time you've, other than in dreams, this is probably the first time you've seen a visual representation of your brother. You've always heard his voice, you've always felt him in shadow. But it's in this moment that you see a young man, not too dissimilar to yourself, but probably a good 10 years old, like perceptively 10 years older, so in elf time, like hella older than you. And his kind of violet eyes rest on you for a second as he kind of settles down, taking a similar position, pulling his knees up to his chest. And you see similar sooty, instead of sooty, kind of red footprints, as this is probably the most light you've seen him under this moon. It would be waning gibbous, so just coming off of a full moon.
Okay.
He kind of pulls his knees up to his chest and sits next to you. Unlike you, he does not keep his hair in braids. He has it currently in kind of twist, but you've also seen him let it loose for relaxed curls. But as of right now, he's in working mode, so he has them kind of twisted in kind of like mirrored pigtails on his side. He sits next to you. Do you know how long it took me to leave our home?
No, brother. You have not told me much of your story.
I wasn't allowed to leave. because our presence is a dangerous one. We straddle the line between life and death. But I hover very specifically in the resurrection. It's funny, you know this now. It hurts when you die. And as you kind of take him in, you see a look of a person who has seen more than his age would depict.
Right.
I can't freely walk this plane. But there was enough of a, we'll call it a kerfuffle, that certain wards were laxed. So I don't know how long I can be here with you. I know you want to know. I know you're angry. And I can tell you as someone who's been very angry for a very long time, that if we play our cards right and we let them give us power, we can change the future of the gods. And you feel a cold hand rest on your shoulder. And he kind of smiles to himself. Do you know what's gotten me through these last few years?
Self-discipline, like I have done, like you have taught me, brother.
No, I have a little friend. And I don't have it with me at this moment, son of a biscuit. Okay, so I don't know if any of you own a copy of Stibble's Codex of Everything, or Stibble's Codex of Monsters, or whatever. But there's a tiny beholder in it. And that's very similar to a Medusa head. I'll get you the stats on it. But as he extends his hands, a globule form appears, and a giant-eyed creature with several stalks sticking off of it appears. This is Medi, and she's my friend. And she's great for hugging. And he kind of like extends her out to you. And think about the size of a Squishmallow. If you were to grip it and squeeze it, that is the size of this creature.
Your big brother is literally trying to pacify you with a teddy bear.
Uh-huh.
I know this move.
He takes the creature in hand and he kind of looks at it and he says, "Are you giving this to me, brother?"
No take backsies.
I'm loaning it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you squeeze it, it's, again, the size of a Squishmallow, the texture of one of those stress relief balls that have, like, the gel in it. So it's...
Okay. What was the name of it?
Medi. And I'll have to get the codex and send you the stats for the creature, because it's very cute. Well, maybe
And
he
he just sort of says, "It's very kind of you, brother. This does not satiate my need for understanding, but it will do for now. But I cannot promise that if I see someone in danger, see someone who needs my aid, the power that is so gifted to me, that I will not lend my hand where it be placed. But I still appreciate this, at least in a little bit. Does this mean you have to go?"
And you kind of see him kind of stare in the middle distance for a second. I do. I have to go. Our father is calling for me.
Of course. Give them my best, whoever they may be.
I will. And believe it or not, he sends his love.
Mm.
And with that, he kind of stands up and then vanishes. And you can see the footprints left in the pools of blood.
Mm. And he kind of gets up and he walks back over to the group. We will have to do it your way from now on. I apologize for my short-sightedness.
Mrs. Baker would walk over and reach up for a hand. You want to do the right thing. You need to do the right thing, which isn't bad. But we have to think about these things before we do them so we can actually get them done. I am so proud of you and everything that you do. The way you flew Dynah out of there when you realized that she was in trouble was exactly what you needed to do. But we have to make a plan before we go in there and not get burnt up. I want to do these things with you. I want to do these things with all of you. Not just the labors from the gods, but these life experiences, these things that we all need to do. We were brought together for a reason. But I just want everyone to be safe. And we can't always be safe, but we can try to be smart. And then she's going to sit down.
Dynah looks over, and if you're gonna be not smart, I'm gonna thinking about it. I'll be there with you. We'll find a way.
Of course we will.
Sage is a snoring pile of leaves at this point. I'm sorry, guys. She is one with the earth. As much as she can be alive, she is one with the earth.
Let's just try to
Sorry,
make
I've
sure
been in and out. I keep missing things because of the baby. So I'm like, Jen, just canonically, she's asleep.
Totally works. I also might be getting it confused with the tiny Cthulhu, but I'll have to double check the monsters, and I'll send you a monster and some stats here in a bit. But yeah.
Okay.
Someone give me the Cliff Notes version in the morning.
And if we can't do something smart, and we can't do something right, can we at least make sure that we're not put into a situation where we can't get out of it on our own?
I told you all to leave. At least those who stay behind. Although I do appreciate what you were trying to do, at least trying to show me, Dynah. You could have gotten yourself killed had I not flown you out of there.
You could have gotten yourself killed by staying in there.
I can handle the heat.
As can I. Hephaestus is not going to coddle me. That doesn't mean I can't take my risks where I feel they're right. You didn't say leave, you said do what you need to do, and I'm telling you what. I'm not going to leave my friends alone. We're Baker's baddies.
Friends. I like that. You all should get some rest. I'll take the first watch.
Are we choosing the name? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh yeah. That's exactly what's happening right now.
Look, I'm down for any good name with alliteration. That's as good as any.
I was thinking Baker's Dozen, but
We're like a half dozen.
I mean, it's just like the Mighty Nine. There were 9 of you, right? Oh yeah, we lost a couple. Well, that's why I said. That's why I said Baker's dozen.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it all.
Fantastic. All right. So you know what? No, I'm not going to have anything happen to you in the night because you beseeched 2 different gods for help. They would put you in a place where they're like, you're not going to die in the night. To be fair, had you stopped at 1, they would have just shunted you out of the space. Beseeching 2, it was then well, who's going to one up the other kind of situation. All right. So you guys rest. So go ahead and take a long rest effect. As you wake in the crisp morning air, taking in the mountainside space, which is gorgeous. You're looking out into a beautiful canyon, and you can see this opulent temple built being Delphi, where the oracle would reside. And you know, some of you have a high enough perception that you can just see the shimmering of like beautiful colored silks catch the morning air in the canyon kind of just below you at the temple. Again, there's no real road to get there. You can just kind of see it.
Say just like standing at the edge of the cliff in all of her basically still nakedness glory, literally drinking from the cauldron of everything, like not even like, sorry guys, I can't share this time. Here's a flask chassis among yourselves, this is mine.
Yep.
Which I just saw the melee damage on that thing! God, I'm gonna start hitting people with my cauldron.
Uh-huh. Hit people with the cauldron.
I like that flavor.
Yeah. So you your tits out to the morning dawn, taking in the breeze. Yeah. What's everyone doing this morning?
I got no weapons to work on, so I'm working on my brewery. I'm making a drink. I added some spice to it. I don't think I can. There's nothing I got new that I can add to this.
I got good berries you can add.
Yeah. Oh,
Wine.
like a filling beer, wine, like something that'll. Oh, you can drink this, and it. Ooh, that's nice.
Igreus is currently plummeting towards the group from the sky. At top speed before slowing and landing just before them.
I think Mrs. Baker wakes up under the weather, like her knees are kind of creaking and you know, she's really feeling her arthritis, and I think the day before really took a toll on her emotions and her body, more than usual, and she's moving really slow.
So kind of like how I've been waking up ever since I turned 30. Understood.
Wait until you get almost 50.
Are you all right, Mrs. Baker?
Oh, honey, I'm okay. I'm just feeling my age today, I think. Just in a little pain.
My dear, you don't look a day above 35.
Is there anything that we can do to help you feel better?
Oh, you always make me feel better, my dear. I just I don't know. We'll see what the day holds.
One thing that I just realized I would have done before we had gone to bed, just a very simple thing. She would have, and Kai would have, like, you know, in the privacy of her own tent, did the same, like, runic circle, and then just issued a simple thank you.
As you do that, the same crow from earlier would have just landed on the other side of the circle, screamed at you, cocked its head, and then flown away.
As I would expect. Whenever expecting the raven, because at this point, anytime that she tries to talk to her, the raven shows up. she would have prepared a silver piece for the raven.
They look like being a raven.
Is that so? Okay. Yeah, so if you left out
Sophos
a
sees
silver,
this happen.
yeah, you would have seen the crow interaction. If you had left out a silver, the crow would happily take it, and kind of like fluff itself at you and then fly away.
Yep. I made sure that before I called and did the thing, the silver was very shiny.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a little human snoring in my hands. Can you hear him? Is it like...
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
But yeah, as to morning, I don't know. I don't think Ankai would really have much of a morning ritual aside from stumbling out of her tent with Bedhead and seeking out the closest source of coffee if there is any.
There's a flask going around the fire with some of my cauldron of everything cafecito.
So yeah.
She doesn't know what it is, but does it smell potent?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Then she drinks it.
You can smell it through the flask.
Take a sip out of it. Oh, fuck. Is this like dwarven holy water?
You're welcome!
What can I say except... Anyway.
I don't know why she has a New Yorker accent, but she does.
Fantastic. So yeah, you drink your coffee, you all come to the morning. Any idea how you're gonna get your cart down the mountain?
It's a new day?
Yeah, it's a brand new day. So if you can change your spell slots, you can choose to do that now.
Yeah.
And the sun is high, all the birds are singing.
That you're gonna die.
Because I could featherfall that, right? Like, we could drop down the cliff and just, like, I could featherfall that shit, right?
You could.
I mean, we'll put the horse... Somehow we'll tie the horses. And just, like...
Okay, featherfall
Because I know the horses are a factor.
Calls for peep.
Can someone, like, shrink the horses and make them pocket size? And then I cast Featherfall on the cart, and we all just, like, pray to our collective gods. Surely that'll make us do somehow.
I'm picturing that's how Santa Claus makes his reindeer now that it's Christmas time, just continuous elves teleporting in and making Featherfall on his sleigh.
Unfortunately, we probably have to let the horses go. We're too high up to try anything that would not get them killed, though I'm not sure what Featherfall does.
I believe it targets creatures, so that takes us to the issue of the cart. So if you...
Can someone pocket size the cart? And I cast Featherfall on the horses one at a time, and then toss us off the cliff. I like that plan. Can anybody make the cart small? Can I make the cart small?
Oh, okay. Do you make the cart small? That would be enlarge, reduce.
I don't think I'm powerful enough for that yet.
That's a
I don't even think
first
that's on my spell list.
It's within your power to do so. I just don't know if you have if the spell is a druid spell.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it is. Blah, blah, blah.
That's not one of the ones that I have, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not something I have either.
I mean, it's in my ability to do so, but I don't have the spell itself. But here's the thing, DM. So I have darkness twice for some reason. Can I switch one of those out for a spell? Because I've got it twice.
Let me...
is it you're a drow, right?
Yeah, I have it for drow, but I also have it for, I'm pretty sure, for my dark abilities.
Let's see. So you have darkness. Oh, yeah. So you have Drow magic, and then Eyes of the Dark.
The dark, right? Which I'm not exactly sure.
Wheel. I mean, I'd let you trade it, because does Drow, is one of those spells have to be darkness, or could you do a different
No, for Drow, it makes it so that it's darkness. I'm pretty sure. Because
Yeah.
I did not choose that. I wouldn't have chosen darkness again.
Change out a racial.
Yeah.
I can make our horses jump really high.
Let me see. I'm gonna go back and check. Because I don't think, because Eyes of the Dark comes with the subclass. Yeah, so because it's shadow magic, it comes with the subclass, and so I get that.
So you essentially get it twice.
I can boop the snoots
Yeah,
of the horses and make them jump.
Yeah, it forces me to have it twice.
Jumping is fun.
I mean, you could essentially turn them into goats in that case.
Yeah, you could.
You still run into the
It triples their jumping. It triples their jump.
It still leaves you with the issue of what to do with the cart. But you could for sure.
Hold on, I'm working on that part.
But I mean, I'd be willing to perma change out one of my second level spells for that. Because other than that, we're gonna have to push it down the hill, and that's definitely not gonna work.
Isn't enlarge reduce on the Forge Cleric list?
No.
No.
Dynah can switch out her spells too, so it's worth a look.
I'm checking.
I
don't think enlarge is on here though. Oh, I don't remember seeing it, but I'll double check.
I can make a plant. I can do plant growth again, and like I can form it into what I want it to do. Can I make it into like a bunch of like
you can turn it into
pathway
a
or like
ramp.
a bunch of plants winding together to make a plant bridge or something like that? I don't know. I'm trying to get creative with this.
How high up are we?
High.
Damn it.
Okay.
I have 100-foot radius centered for me.
I have been playing
on this spell.
Enlarge spells is not popping. Enlarge is not popping up.
Yeah, it's not on the Forge Cleric list. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll perma change out my second level to that if it's required.
I'm just trying to.
Okay, what if I put Cassius form on the horses and technically they're wearing the tack and kind of the wagon? Would that count?
Can you cast gaseous form already?
Yes. I've had it. It says I transform a willing creature I touch along with everything it's wearing and carrying.
Oh,
I mean, we could technically put
Cloud Walk because
on
it's
the
one creature.
Okay. Yeah, but if we're all on horses and I do it twice,
well, it's concentration,
and it's carrying us.
It's concentration.
Does that count?
It's concentration and lasts for an hour, so you cannot cast it on two things at once.
Damn it. Okay. Good point.
And it does require it to be a willing creature, I mean, I think you could do it to an unwilling creature, but it gets to make a saving throw.
Yeah, DM. If it's all right, I can perma change my one of my second level spells to enlarge reduce.
Yeah.
So that way we have Featherfall on the two horses, and then the smaller item I can just put it in my pocket and traverse.
Well, I thought I had Featherfall, but I might be wrong. Hold on, I'm checking again. I thought I had it, but that might be another character I've been playing recently.
That is that would be a different kind of caster. Druids do not get Featherfall.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I did.
I'm just trying to see if I could justify a drow having enlarge reduce.
Well, I mean, I have it in my. Oh, okay, yeah. Which
okay, so you are an elf. that followed Persephone to the Underdark or to Hades. You
was made,
are
but yeah.
surrounded by... Oh, yeah, sorry, in this lore, the Drow were just elves. Elves were created by, oh my gosh, why can't I say her name? Demeter. So Demeter created elves, and when Persephone separated from Demeter and joined Hades in the underworld, oh no, bye, Mrs. Baker. The elves that chose to follow Persephone into the underworld are now Drow. So,
I love that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to justify, like, why would they have enlarge reduce? And to be fair, lots of really scary large things live in the Underdark.
It could be a spatial concern.
That's what I was actually just about to suggest. Is that if we're looking for a reason why for the Underdark they would have that, the Underdark isn't unilateral in regards to size and tunnels.
Yeah, it's very difficult to traverse.
Like, traditionally, Drow have issues with deep gnomes. So, arguably, you could utilize that as they had modified their magic to be able to fit through tunnels they normally wouldn't be able to. If anything, that's some good bullshit I just spewed.
It is good bullshit.
I buy
it. There's also the factor of, like, oh shit, that's a big spider. Not anymore. It's a normal-sized spider. Does everyone in the Underdark speak with an Australian accent because they come from a land down under? That's a great question.
Canonically, all of mine do, so yes.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll go ahead and allow you to... This is a permanent substitution. I don't know that you can change your character sheet, so just make a note of it. You have enlarge reduce rather than that second darkness from your drow background.
Okay. I'll just change the name to enlarge reduce so that I know I'll remember that I have it.
Yes, because I am a kind and loving dungeon master.
Appreciate
We love you so much.
Appreciation.
Thank you, Dungeon Mistress.
Appreciation. Okay, so I have enlarge reduce. I don't know if I could.
Screw it.
Everybody could just ride the two horses down very carefully, but.
Or I cast jump on them, and even if they don't do so good, I could cast jump, or I could cast enhance ability at second level, and give both horses with one spell the Cat's Grace, which will give them advantage on dexterity checks, and they don't take damage falling 20 feet or less if it's not incapacitated. I'm between picking those two.
I think the Cat's Grace is the better option, because it essentially turns them into mountain goats. Because mountain goats can just drop distances and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna prepare that spell.
You would have to use your third level slot though for that if you're doing both horses.
That's okay.
Alright, so you're going to shrink the cart.
Yep.
You're going to upcast enhance ability on the horses. And you guys are going to pile on the horses. Okay.
You guys can pile on. I'm gonna fly down.
I mean, we're all small people except for
Ankai and Igreus.
Ankai, you're tall. That's right. I forgot you're not a tiny person.
Yep.
Also, Igreus, you can't do the enlarge reduce and then levitate.
I have flight, which is a feature, and enlarge reduce, so I can do both.
Okay, yeah, as long as they're not both concentration.
No,
I was thinking like the drow levitate.
no, it's not levitate. It's my feet.
Gotcha. Sorry, go on.
No, you're good.
Yes, let's talk about your feet.
Okay.
Your patitas.
I'm gonna have to go like 60 feet and then land on something. Or
So,
120 feet and then land on something without dying.
I feel like I would know whether this was a viable option.
Mhm.
Can I essentially use Misty Step like Featherfall and just yeet myself off of something and then cast it whatever I'm not impacting against the ground?
I mean, Misty Step is essentially like slow motion. Just let you go further, I guess.
Just don't goldfish, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking to fearlessness.
So, as someone who has had characters use Featherfall for this, not Featherfall, use Misty Step for this exact purpose, you can certainly try to. It is not a guarantee. It is a check every time. You are gambling
you.
with magic.
Don't keyfish! Don't keyfish!
I'll catch you.
But yeah, because that was the main thing. I was like, you can definitely do 2-up on a horse. Fitting a third person on, because the thing about Dynah is she's short, but she's stonky. She's a big, broad girl.
But Mrs. Baker can fit in the Bjorn.
That's true.
We got the Baker Bjorn, so there's one less ass upon the saddle, if you will.
Right, but the way
Also, does anybody in the party have a bag of holding?
No.
No.
Wait. I forget. Don't I have my dress has pockets?
Your halter, yes. So your dress has pockets. They're not supernatural pockets. They're just really good pockets.
Okay.
Where does Baker go?
Paula wasn't.
She wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, I could kind of just shove Miss Baker in a pocket if it's magical, but I guess not.
Yeah, they're not magical pockets. They're just really nice pockets. Yeah, so yeah, you can make it down the mountain. Cuz the enhance ability lasts an hour. So you guys are going to have to like get these things going like right off the bat. So if you are reducing the size of the cart,
yes,
if you are enhancing the ability of the horses, Igreus is flying. The other four are getting on the horses that several of you don't know how to ride. It'll be fine. The horses are actually really well trained horses. You bought the premium ones, so the horses know what they're doing more than you guys do. They're like, fuck it, I'll get down this mountain. Just hold on.
As soon as they figure out that they can make that step without like toppling to their death, they get that confidence.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is, Odin, take the wheel.
Yeah. We're saying we're gonna yeet ourselves into the abyss and hope for the best. Okay. I don't know. Who's feeling lucky tonight? Let's have somebody make a luck roll.
I am. I'm, for some reason, rolling really well for some goddamn reason.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Mox, you want to get a 15 or higher on the
Jesus.
D20.
Friendly reminder to our druid, can be used on other people.
I can use the luck on other people?
Yes.
You actually can, in fact.
Okay, so if Igreus is going to do, how would that work story-wise?
That's just affecting luck. What'd you roll, Mox?
Oh, I rolled a natural 15.
That's exactly what you needed.
Yeah, that was why I was laughing. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be great.
All right.
It was gonna be one of those, here, take this. I don't need it.
I don't need it. Right. I was like waiting. I was like, don't give me that luck.
All right.
Because I literally wanted the thematic like way to do that to be like an ass slap or something.
Yep. All right.
With a
Perfect.
cup.
He goes, where we're going, we don't need roads.
All right.
Don't need.
All right. So here's what happens. You guys get on the horses. Igreus, you are beside the cart. You all kind of stare at each other because it's all gonna last an hour, and you all realize this. So, Sophos, you're kind of like leaning from one horse to the other, ready to cast, and then everyone goes off together. And as the horses just meander their way down, you guys end up in a clearing, and you realize why the horses decided to go here. Very specifically, you are not actually near the Temple of Delphi anymore. You've kind of gone down and back south, kind of back to closer to where you were coming from, and away from the township. So you were up high. You had this visual. You could see the town in the distance, and you could see Delphi like right below you. And so you were back here, and now you're over here somewhere. So you guys make your way down, and you get in this clearing. And enough of you have a high enough perception check that you hear a tune being played from a flute.
Oh, Lord.
Ah.
And where we're going to call it for the night is you see, yeah, we love we love a they them. You see Pan, who is lounging naked,
Always.
with their breast exposed, their satyr legs lounging, their hair curled and waving around their kind of lighter toned skin. And the interesting thing about them is they kind of have a version of vitiligo, as you see like the kind of tan skin being taken over by white patches, but all of the shifting and coloration of their skin all looks like the dappling of sunlight through trees, as they kind of just sit there and play on their flute, lounging lazily with a large cup next to them. And they greet you and they say, "Ah, you're finally here. Welcome." And that's where we're going to call it for the night.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Everybody's gonna be fucking.
I'm gonna fuck some shit up next week. in 2 weeks.
Yep. So
I'm ready for this next one.
we're starting the new year with Pan.
With Pan.
I'm so excited.
Starting the new year with Pan.
I'm so
I mean,
excited.
that's a great way to start.
That's true.
It's like it's just, it's celebrating the new year. Pan is giving, a bunch of drugs and alcohol. I mean, win-win.
Right.
And besides, we should probably keep a tally of how many orgies actually happen in this campaign.
Listen, Igreus isn't going to be involved in any of those, so.
Oh,
I'll be selling sundials at every single one I go to.
Gosh.
The best description I've ever heard of anything is when you did the YouTube promo, and you're like, if you want to watch a bunch of aggressively ace people at an orgy, I almost died. Like, I almost stopped breathing. I was laughing so hard, and I'm like, this is the most accurate description of that night ever.
Right.
I'm like, I
Nobody
feel like
touched
Dynah's much
anybody.
more Debbie Gray, but like aggressively, and it's like, yeah, exactly. I shared that with her, and I was like, oh my god,
Like,
kick.
it was like, oh, there's an orgy, and everybody's like, I don't care. I'm not involved.
So we don't mind that it's happening. It's like we're just doing our thing around it. It's cool.
I just want to drink, please. I don't want to. He's like,
I want to make
moving
money.
like
I'll make
right.
bank.
I'm here for the vibes, but that looks sticky.
Right. It's like, oh.
It's that Brennan clip from Make Some Noise. It's like, excuse me, you're interrupting our bird time.
Yeah. You tripped a silent alarm. Oh.
Mom, can you come pick me up? They're doing drugs and I'm scared.
So accurate. Oh, I love this so much. That said, Mox, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but there is the stats for your little buddy. I'm gonna retcon what I originally described. There he is. He's a cutie
The
patootie.
stats. Oh yeah, there we go.
Well, Medi has no gender. They are just a thing, so...
Okay, all right. Saving for later.
But yeah,
That's adorable.
right? Cutie. The
Right.
issue with it is you don't have direct control over it, so it's going to be a bonus action if you're trying to command it to do something very specific.
Okay.
That's less a squishmallow and more a splinchmallow. I don't.
Yeah, when you hug it, it retracts its spines.
Oh, okay, better. Like toothless. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we'll give it very toothless energy.
Yeah,
It was
don't tell me that.
What was kind of being like pictured in my mind is, do you remember the little plasmoid thing from Treasure Island
Yeah.
or Treasure Planet?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about
You mean
him.
morph?
More.
Morph.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, don't tell me that either.
Yeah.
Listen, I was a very underdog type kid growing up, so Treasure Planet, Jim Hawkins, and
Oh yeah.
Hiccup are kind of my MO, so
You've got the makings of greatness in you, boy.
My first animated crush.
I just watched the second movie with my partner. He had never seen it, so we watched it together. Yeah, so I love that movie. The second one's not the best. The first one's better. The third one is fantastic. Second one is
What?
fine.
What are we talking about?
How to Train Your Dragon?
How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh! I thought we were talking about Treasure Planet. I was like,
No.
there were people.
Yeah, no, sorry.
No.
We were talking about Treasure Planet, and then Toothless was brought up, and then How to Train. Anyway, Treasure Planet, also a fantastic movie with a banging soundtrack. Did not need to go that hard, but it did. I'm not.
Excuse me.
So many of our childhood things did not need to go that hard, but they did.
My Spelljammer campaign, as short-lived as it was 100% based off of Treasure Planet.
Oh yeah, that's.
I love it.
Great film.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to go.
Yeah, let's
Alright,
go
much.
ahead and wrap it for the night. Thank you guys. You guys did great.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Max.
Buenos nachos.
Nachos. All things considered, you guys did about as good with Prometheus as I was expecting.
That was great.
I was fully expecting. I was I was a little worried that we weren't on Twitch because I was fully expecting Dynah to have to use her feather, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I was torn and I was hesitated for a second and I was like, doom doom, doom doom, doom doom. We got this. Look, watch this.
I was concerned with phoning my friend, because I don't think that I've told anybody aside from the DM who my patron is, and
no, yeah, I'm in the dark and I'm looking forward to that. Continue.
Yeah, I would shit. I'm looking over my spell list. I'm the only thing that I can maybe do is try to put flames out, and then it's oh no, this is Prometheus. Fuck, I have zero that I could do here.
That's why I went with inflict wounds, because I was necrotic damage, and I read the spell and I was maybe it could and it would work on normal metal, but it was magic metal, and I was we gotta find a way to fucking bolster this shit. Maybe at level 8 or 9, I don't know.
Yeah.
My only thing that was gonna follow was to stick my head back in, risk taking the damage, and then use suggestion on Igreus and tell him to get the fuck out.
Yeah, there's almost no way that you guys were going to free Prometheus. He's there for a reason.
At this point, I knew, but I was character moment right here. This is gonna build.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a really cool move.
That was really cool.
Sage was when he was when Igreus was get out of here. Sage was yes, sir. Though I was fully planning to about face back in with my face in, have the doobie of healing in my mouth as I pop my face back in, and if I was close enough, I was gonna cast Healing Word on whoever needed it.
Ooh, that
I was
That was my
I heard him
backup
say
plan
do what
if
you need
y'all
to
had
do, and I was like, that's
bullshit
it
it
right
out.
there. Do what you need to do. I'm okay. Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for the next time Igreus pulls that, because that's going to lead to a potential conflict, and this is where, she will use her magic against a party member.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this
Because what's the good of using enchantment shit if the party is going to do something suicidal?
yeah. Oh man, yeah, that played out. That was interesting. I was very because you were
I
gonna.
was fully ready because in my head, Prometheus stole the flame, and I was thinking there was a connection between the flame and like Hephaestus's forge flames, and I don't think that's the case. But I was like, Hephaestus has got to be involved. But I was like, okay, I'm not gonna make it my thing, but we're gonna. I needed the flame.
Oh yeah. The flame has a couple of really cool features. If you get well,
Mhm.
essentially, you guys have a solid way to keep it now. Otherwise, you're just trying to hold these torches. And so I'm assuming you've let the torches burn out because they can only last so long. But the lantern that Hestia gave, uh,
Yeah,
Mrs. Baker will keep the flame. But yes, now that you
so I
Do
have
I
can just
need to
light a
ask
torch
permission
with
to
that.
use that to light things?
that's something to discuss with the rest of your party. But yeah, the flame has certain things, and if you start pairing certain trinkets that you get together, it'll cause different effects. Like if you brew something with the cauldron of everything over primordial fire, that could start affecting different things.
I'm going to. Oh, I don't think beer brewer needs fire, does
No,
it?
not typically, but your
No, it doesn't.
forging in primordial flame will
Yes.
also
No.
start to affect things.
That is absolutely
If
what
you're
I'm gonna do.
if you're working with a still, you need fire.
That's true.
Oh, okay. But I'm not into
If
liquors
you're
yet. Right
making
now I'm just doing
spirits, you need fire.
beer and ales.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's something that you consider in the future. Like once you start pairing certain things together, certain things will start to trigger. Um, but yeah, and also be aware you won't always get responses from the gods. You just happen to have the best person around when you guys were calling out for help. Is the one person who was like, "Yeah, I can go get that information for you. I'll let them know."
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Don't focus on me again.
yeah. It was one of
you
those.
you know what? Let me take care of this for you so I can be out of your line of sight.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, okay, yeah, I got this. Um,
I
so
love walking into the streams like, oh, and Kai, and we also found out that he has like the perfect cock.
yep, top tier penis, neither too large, but very well sized.
See,
It's
Sage just looked at the kneecaps.
Yep. Don't
a very nice.
Safest spot.
don't don't make eye contact with it.
Don't make eye contact. No kind of eyes.
It's like Medusa.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay, gosh, poor guy. But yeah, oh, I'm excited for you guys to deal with Pan. Pan's a mess. Um,
Oh, seriously.
Thank you.
I'm really expecting the conversation with our lovely druid and Pan too. So
Oh,
like, my
hold on. Hold on. No. Continue, but give me a second because I'm going to show you the gift I got. I already showed you the mug, but the regret the life choices, I got another gift, guys. I got another gift, and I think I want to play this with Pan. Check it out.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That was
What do you think?
I mean, you'll lose, but yeah, go for it.
Does Pan know how to play chess?
Yes, Pan would know how to play chess. Pan knows how to play all party games.
Will Plan. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
hold on. I feel like, well, I don't necessarily disagree. In what world is chess a party game?
A party for two.
We're nerds and we're ace. I've played chess at parties before, but excuse me, only shot chess.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, you sound great.
Mm-hmm.
We did not objectify you while you were gone.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell
Igreus,
that
on
at
the other
all.
hand.
Now to see if this works. There we go.
Hey, he can see you.
Yes. There we go. Sorry, I have lots of stuff on my desk. Okay.
By the way, happy holiday season, everyone. I just hopped on and was like, okay, in the middle of a conversation.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy Yule and all that.
It's a merry crisis.
Merry Chrysler.
Happy Honda days.
My house is a Merry Christmas behind me.
Mm,
Like a Merry Crisis.
mm.
Happy Christmas.
I did so much, and then today I'm like, I'm doing nothing. And I have 2 kids, and my house looks like I did nothing, but they did everything. Every present is open somewhere on the floor, and I'm just like here, like it doesn't exist. D&D is life, and I'm not here.
Mm. I technically worked today, but I have been playing Tears of the Kingdom since 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Nice.
I also had technically worked today, so I completely understand that.
I did work today. Oh dear.
I know you had a big long day.
Ugh.
I played Dragon Age Origins.
No, that's my favorite.
I know.
I sat on the couch and watched bad core YouTube videos all day.
Mm.
I had a nap. I had my coffee, and now I'm ready to play. After I
My
mute
mom
all
was-
my other discords.
Mm.
My mom was all, "Oh, you don't feel good. Maybe you should skip it." I said, "No, I will skip any campaign but Mrs. Baker."
She's such a cute character. Gosh, I'm
Baker's life.
so invested in you guys.
Yeah, everybody's so great.
Oh, y'all are adorable. Oh goodness. Okay. So
Bear with me as I learn to digitally roll. I, like a common druid, am not versed in technological or mechanical stuff. I can make a branch do whatever I want it to do in real life and in fantasy, but these things, not so much. And it's got a very broken screen, so there's some things I can't tap. Of course, it's right where the dice rolls and the dice choices. Doesn't work upside down. No, it doesn't.
Oh no. It's okay. I'm also gonna have to.
But you're brilliant because you put your dice out on the full moon tonight, which is actually literally going to happen in the next 15 minutes as the peak full moon for where I'm at.
Uh-huh.
And it's a full moon in Cancer, which is all about release. So you may not, now keep this in mind, you may not be manifesting good rolls. But what you are potentially doing is releasing the bad rolls, okay? So you may get neutral rolls. But you want to think about that, meditate on that, burn a candle later, do whatever you want to do.
I will light my little oil lamp that lives in my house hearth, and I will set good vibes because pagan more than the witch side of things, but the moon shit. I didn't want to believe it, and I do very much believe in the moon shit now because I've worked in emergency services.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
you get
Mental hospital 4 years.
Just restaurants and pissed off people, more pissed off.
You never took it into consideration.
Also, I am sensitive to it because I'm like an adult toddler, so I can identify with children going crazy on the full moon too, because
They do.
Yeah. I worked at a mental hospital for 4 years. I worked with high schoolers for 4 years. The all in institutionalized settings, and it's the full moon
Oy.
I think I'd rather work at the hospital.
Ow.
Teenagers are the worst. Mm-mm. Oh, I didn't like teenagers when I was one.
Am I weird if I love middle schoolers?
You know what? I get it. Middle schoolers can be fun. You're catching them like right
They're
before.
like little sacks of hormones, and if you meet them young enough, it's like, okay, you're not too cool yet. And then if they vibe with you and you vibe with them, it's like, okay, all right, guard down.
Yep, yeah. Middle schooler is a hit or miss, but you can get a good sweet spot in there, and build a decent relationship. But like, ooh, teenagers, no. Mm-mm.
I think because I was homeschooled, I don't know if it was the repression or the simultaneous allowance to be yourself. Most homeschooled middle schoolers and teenagers, I loved being around them, but I get it when I was around a lot of the public school kids, because there was a lot of cheese. Melissa, there was a lot of bullying, and I'm like, why are we doing this? But in my community, it was so small, it's like, don't pee in the pond. Don't do that. Kind of thing. I think that may have been like the peacekeeper, but I love teenagers that I was around. But again, we had the freedom to be weird. And all we had to do was be like, oh, sorry, we're homeschooled. And then everybody would look the other way. And then be like, oh, do you make soap? Do you make leather? To which we could all reply, yes. But I don't want to.
I don't know what it is, but in my adult life, I have gained almost exclusively homeschool friends, and I don't know how it keeps happening. Redheads and homeschooled people.
I can tell you why, because there's not a single neurotypical homeschooler out there, because almost all homeschoolers are homeschoolers because their parents got bullied for being neurodivergent, and so they're like, that I'm taking this kid out of here. So I've never met a neurotypical homeschooler in my life.
I can see that. A few of
So
them...
if you're neurodivergent, which they're gonna be attracted to you.
That's true. A lot of mine were religious nuts. One like grew up in a cabin in Indiana. One was just in the middle of a terrible city outside of Chicago. And then the other one, my partner, being one of 9 Catholic children. As a parent, I want you to think about this. There's a 22-year age gap between their oldest sibling and their youngest sibling. That's 22 years of infants. Oh. No.
I'm oldest of 8 children, and my mother, and we're Irish, not Catholic, but Irish. I'm oldest of 8. My mother was pregnant 11 times with 12 children. In 12 years, she had 3 losses with 2 of them, and one of them was twins. But otherwise, I have 7 living siblings, and my sibling youngest to me is 12 years younger than me. And I'd always be like, why is mom losing her mind? And then I had kids, and then I'm like, oh, she never left the infant stage until I was like 14, and by then I was batshit. So of course we were batshit together. It made perfect sense.
Like
fun stuff.
I say this with love. You could see the exact moment there was a hard checkout in like the middle 3 kids, and then a check back in for the last 2. Because you look at the middle 3 and you're like, you guys did not get the attention. One or multiple of you were very difficult babies. And then like, oh no, the one that needed like actual medical attention checked back in. And then the baby one, of course, got all the wisdom and knowledge passed down through the years. But like, there's a hard checkout with the middle 3, and you're just like,
Poor baby.
Yeah.
I get lost in that shuffle, man.
I will give my partner's
okay. On.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just said I'm on the purple app. Can I say that on here? I'm on Twitch.
Yeah, we're on Twitch.
Cool. I'm on my useless thing, which is my computer.
Excellent. Yeah.
I was trying to locate my computer, and I have not.
You lost your computer?
Yeah, our laptop has kind of been. Oh, that's why. Oh, hold on. I was looking over here.
We had other people's children in this house. I had to hide it.
Yeah, that's smart. My managers are sleeping.
And I try to put in my Bluetooth headphones, and they are not connecting to the Discord.
Mm. Oh gosh, now I have F is for friends stuck in my head. I'm gonna think about that.
That's a YouTube video, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube. It would be like SpongeBob, fun song. I don't know. Also, thinking about middle schoolers being like kind of the fun ones to deal with, it's also really easy to be the coolest person a middle schooler's ever known.
True.
You just have to.
You start with colored hair, you're in like 75% of the time.
Colored hair, and then if you make a dumb joke, like I became like queen of band camp because instead of saying band camp is fun, I said band camp is fire truck, and like kids lost their shit. So it's really the bar is so low. Mox, you have the grumpiest face.
Hmm?
You look so grumpy.
Sorry, I'm trying to correct my my Twitch stuff. For some reason, it's acting funny. And don't worry, that's not grumpiness. That's me pushing my lips against my septum ring.
Oh, the stem is real.
Yeah, that makes it.
I can just touch my nose with my lips. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Facial piercings have been, again, the best and worst thing that's ever happened to me because I do actively play with them.
Reviewing my character. I have no strength. I have nothing.
You are so wise. You're doing great.
I am, aren't I? I'm wise enough to not get into a situation that requires my strength, I think.
Exactly.
Start recording.
I may not be intelligent enough to get out of it, but I'm definitely wise enough to stay away from it.
I across the board love this. I love high wisdom characters that don't take perception. I think it's hilarious. Because every time I look at your passive perception, I'm like, huh, that should be higher. And then I'm like, no, you're not proficient in it. And that's always very funny to me. It delights me endlessly.
I'd like to think that she's like hopelessly like I don't know. I really believe it to be that happy. You gotta be a level of ignorant.
Yep. Oh, I had a concept for a high elf arcane trickster, and they were gonna be like high intelligence, low wisdom, no proficiency in perception. And the best part is they were gonna be the rogues. They were constantly gonna be sent ahead in alone places, and they'd be like, it's fine. Great, come on up, gang. Nothing will happen.
Enough?
I love that.
I do have a really low passive perception, don't I?
I mean, it feels right, though. It feels appropriate for the character. Like,
it's her.
I feel like Sophos, this is a weird thought process. I feel like Sophos would be great in Call of Cthulhu. Because the trick I figured out when making Call of Cthulhu characters, don't notice shit. If you don't see shit can't scare you and traumatize you forever. You're just like, nah, that's weird, and you just move on and pretend like nothing bad is happening. And when you see something that's like mysterious and interesting, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. That's not for you. And if you do that, Call of Cthulhu, you will survive every time.
That's what I'm like in real life, so maybe I'd survive the apocalypse.
Yeah, you look at the mysterious floating black orb and you go, neat. That's not my business, and you walk past it.
Right?
And you'll be fine.
Unfortunately, I'm not like that with plants. I wish I was. Literally poisoned myself with plants, just playing with them.
Yeah, plants are neat though. I think they're fun. I think about the poison garden that's in the UK a lot. The one that has the big wrought iron fencing and it's a big I think about that one. Like I want to go.
They have like countdowns for how long it's been since someone passed out.
Yeah. I want to go.
A lot of knowing plants is knowing what can and can't kill you and poison you. Mm-hmm. One of the things I sell are herb wands. And I tell people, I'm like, you can have Avada, you can do whatever you want. Just don't light that shit on fire because I'm not schooled in the science of what will and will not end you if lit. Mm-hmm. Please don't.
Yeah. Can't burn.
I can't even tell you the positives. I can definitely tell you there might be negatives here. Mm-hmm. It smells pretty as in.
End of sentence.